We are live. Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 313. We'll be with you after the intro. We've got special guest Charles from UK with us, a side co-host. Hello everybody. Let us know how the audio sounds on our mics during the show too. It's because it's a test run with Discord. I think Google's lagging already. Are you still hear me okay?
Yeah, fine.
Can you hear all the music and all that?
Yep.
Cool. Everything's good. We'll get better and better at this.
If you hear little squeaks in the corner, it's just like a little cockatiel by me as well. So he's sitting
right.
Sometimes he makes a noise.
As long as he's got a swear word for like cousins, that's alright.
If he gets the noise, I'll take him out and put him up in the other room.
Not too sure if your mic's a wee bit bassy though. I could probably
The only mic I've got is one I'm sitting on top of the computer. It's like a video mic thing. You might have to get it separate, I think.
To me, you sound bassy, but I probably could play around with the settings here. JD reckons the audio sounds good.
That's fine. That's good. Thank you, JG.
We're at the good to be back. I'll be back. No hardcore swearing on the sides. The moderators will tell you off and give you a warning. And let's have a bit of fun and have a look at the crazy videos out there that's been in this week and some ones we're going to tidy up from last week. Should be a learning exercise if I can do it. So here goes. So yeah, we got Charles with us. Hopefully he sounds alright. Let us know if he's too bassy. Maybe I can sort that out. You see my mixer, it's very complex. And if you hear any crackle, of course we're going to have to reset my mixer because it's got that annoying bug in it. Whoop, already got that open. Why am I opening up another one? So yeah, as you can see, I've got a few tabs to go through. And work through them slowly. So I'll just type up the welcome message down here. The old computer's handling it so far. So far, yeah. Wait till we start the editing software, that's where it picks up a bit.
Keep everything crossed.
Fingers crossed. So this is midweek. Midweek UFO video analysis and topics to do with UFOs. Haven't done much paranormal lately though. I'm not sure how many people are going to join us. We don't seem to have many UK fans, so mostly USA, isn't it? USA, and we got one New Zealander, which is a pretty poor turnout for the whole country. You'd think they'd be more interested in the truth and side of UFOs, wouldn't you?
I thought so.
So first up, I want to talk about this attack from GUFON radio. I said these comments back to me. And I played the video clip where he's praising Thirdphaseofmoon again. Look who's talking, you have the worst show. Which is why you can't get more than 6 people per live episode. How about this? Stop hurting ufology with your awful critiques. You have zero experience with UFO hunting, sky watching, and ufology. You are a hack. You think you are smarter than me when it comes to figuring out what's on these UFO videos. Well, I've never seen him do any live video analysis like I have from fresh start, right? We all talk about no one, and I mean no one, is better at figuring out UFO videos than me. This is GUFON radio saying this, Richard, or Rich as they call him. You spent over 7 hours on debunking alien addicts balloons, so he still hasn't watched it. There was a two live stream training episode how to use the tools of the video command line stuff, which is more advanced than
magic word for trying, teaching. So you have to go step by step.
It wasn't just to debunk his video, it was to show people how to do it properly with the command line tools and rip it to single images and zoom and create a stabilized animated GIF of the sequence, so you could see how it was turning and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, he's never watched it, so all they could do is laugh at it. It's alright to say it was balloons, but I identified what it was. So it was a panda bear that had split in half in the sky. That, which you couldn't have done if you didn't do the analysis like I did with the video tools. Took me 12 to 15 seconds, but he didn't know it was a panda bear. Right, and he couldn't animate it like I did. He couldn't use the tools like I did. So he's a complete moron. He's attacking me, and he hasn't got the full facts. And then he carries on. Let's see. The subtles of having a glass lens compared to a plastic one. Yeah, I do. It's called I research beforehand or do it live on a live stream at the time. Because I'll research plastic lens, won't I, if I need to look up plastic lens. But who uses plastic lenses now? Is there any modern cameras that use plastic lenses?
I never heard any.
I haven't heard of anyone. They're always glass. They might have a front dome that's plastic. How does the light react differently on certain cameras and certain brands? Well, that I would look up, wouldn't I? I would Google it. JVC compared to Sony, Fuji, but he's talking about old technology here, right? He wouldn't have all those cameras unless you got the cameras and afford the technology. There's no way you're going to experiment with all that. That's why you ask other experts. You know, I don't say I know it all. I will reach out to other people saying, "You got one of these? Does it do this?" That's why I have MUFON people on my team. You know, the chief ones at that. I got the chief Canadian guy that comes on now occasionally. You see him on Discord, and you got Earl Grey, who's still getting mended. His knees are not so good at the moment. Why use HIB over digital? High 8 over digital when ghost hunting. I learned all that stuff. You sit behind a desk and use the internet as your source for learning and source for answers. You should just come to me. I've made all the mistakes you amateurs make. And yet you see me debunk his balloon videos that you couldn't, and the butterfly one, right? So it's fairly obvious it was butterflies. But yeah, I think he's got some cheek, you know, and he's working with Thirdphaseofmoon for fuck's sake. So he put out this video here, and just listen to the junk, the bullshit and stuff. He's talking about third phase being experts, and it's just really sickening just listening to it. I'll put it full screen.
It grew so fast in a year or so.
Yeah, see if I get the volume right on it here. Let me just see if it's going to the right place. Yeah, wrong one. Okay, we'll try that.
so. And a lot of those subscribers
Sound
never
loud
go
enough?
back. You know, so he does well for the channel, or did well, but he took the fast track, and what happened, it probably
Oh no, here we go.
happened so fast, he never had that kind of money. And, you know, he realized, oh my God, I've got money, I can get
He's talking about Tyler here.
bitches and whores and other things. That's right. Like drugs. Which is sad. It wasn't sad, I needed them. Anyway, he's gone. But when you do the right thing,
I don't think he is. I think he's coming back.
Follow the guidelines of YouTube, and you
Hope
get
not.
consent from everybody, and
I bet he does
you don't
next
try to
year.
take shortcuts. Yeah, you try to grow and get on that edge of like, is this real or fake? But Third Phase is now again the #1 channel, and I am going to boast about them. I've been
This is
watching
why he's a
them
moron.
from year one. So I always said they do something that nobody else does. They put quality up, and they do.
Quality.
And you can't argue with that. No matter what you think
You
about
can't
them,
argue with their quality.
and you're going to be wrong, because if you're saying anything negative, get over it. Those days are a thing of the past. And
This guy's a
I
joke.
just wanted to say that to start off, because, you know, I still get people saying, you sold out to Third Phase. I'm like, did I?
Yes, you did.
How's that
They're
possible?
sold out, they might be getting
Because
paid by
we're
them.
friends? I sold out? Doesn't make sense.
Could
First
be
of all,
paying him.
Sorry?
I said they could be paying him to, you know, advertising them.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if we
we-
can boost your treble a bit. I think you're a bit bassy still. Hang on. Treble. Is that treble there? Let me just try this. Are you
Back on
talking?
now, Paul. Right
Is
there,
it-
Paul.
Yeah. I can still hear you. Are you there?
Yeah,
What are you
I'm
doing?
fine. Are you?
Yeah.
I'm here, Paul.
I think that's reduced the treble, isn't it? I mean the bass. Hang on, let me just have a look. It's a very small dial on it. Well, that's bass. It's got these funny dials on it. How about now? Can you say hello?
Hello, Paul. Hello, Paul.
I think that sounds better. You
Hello,
can hear
Paul.
him now. So what you were saying about Richard before?
I said he may be getting backhanders from Third Phase. You never know.
Yeah, it's possible.
Advertise them.
But he's definitely getting backhanders in the form of subs and views, right? But they do go on his side chat and donate to him too. So he's definitely getting
Yeah,
more.
well, there you go then.
Yeah.
So why
$10.
would he badmouth them then?
Yeah. JD reckons they're intimidating me, or intimidated by me, is it? They are intimidated by Paul, that's why they
I agree. I agree,
Yeah.
JD.
So yeah, we don't need to hear much more of that. I just wanted to hear what he's saying about him. He's just a grease ass bullshitter. And what he said to me, I thought was kind of disgusting.
I
really.
heard I saw one of the videos you put on him about the other day as well. That he was talking about his wife and then the dogs or something, and he was saying that he got a terrier. That the spots don't come out for about a year or something. Well,
Terrier.
that's Dalmatians, not terrier.
Oh, right. I don't know. Terriers. I thought they come in all different colours.
Terrier dogs. They got black, like print, like marks on them. The Dalmatians are born white, and they get the black spots and everything come on about a year later.
Right.
So I don't think he knows what the difference between a terrier and a Dalmatian. But he said he's had Dalmatians all his life. Terriers all his life, sorry.
Well, I think he had a terrier and that died, and he had it cremated. And a couple of weeks ago, he found a dog hair between his false teeth or something. He said, "How can I get a dog hair that's not alive anymore in my teeth?" And well, obviously, it's around the house, and he's put his false teeth down the side of the bed or something. on the floor.
Saw the dog hair and stuff. Yeah, I bet he cried his eyes out then, I bet.
Yeah, so just get rid of this silly news here about the UFO, and I'll just play the video. Is there a video clip here?
Oh, shall I? Outside.
Have I got the video clip? Probably have to open up their tab. I don't think I got the. Is that them? No. I'll just get up third phase. Yeah, Shelley's there. She's not using the tablet, she's using her new Samsung phone. I don't know why she ain't using the tablet. But anyway, third phase. Looks like we've got another video to analyze here too. So this is how ridiculous this is. Clickbait title: Hold on, hundreds pull over on a New Jersey highway to film UFO. Not to, when it should actually say, solved, UFO is a blimp. Hundreds pull over to watch it. You know, that's not clickbait then. That's actually saying what it is. Well, this is actually, oh, right, UFO, hundreds of people watching UFO. Let's click it and watch it. And GUFON radio is saying, what's clickbaity about this? You know, straight away. He doesn't understand. It's clickbaity.
Welcome back, Blake Cousins here at Third Phase Moon. We've got some breaking news. Something just happened over New Jersey that has people pulling over on the freeway by the hundreds, and in shock and awe, they're seeing something in the skies, and we've got multiple videos coming in from the event. It's quite interesting, and it's liquid right now. And
yeah, so let's see if we can zoom in and see if we can identify it, because they're not zooming in. Now, straight away you can see, on maximum zoom here, it looks like almost a screen there. It looks like a square screen, and it almost looks like a cigar shape there. Why would a UFO have a screen on it? And you can see here, once we get some decent video, that's not all spud cam, that you can actually see a little cabin on the front. And then what hangs in the sky with LED screens on the side and little cabins underneath. Not UFOs. They're called blimps, or Goodyear blimp in this case.
And we also have a video of some photographs in regards to a Chilean resident who had a close encounter with some alien beings. It's quite incredible, but let's get to the breaking news right now out of New Jersey. Watch.
Okay, I wonder if we can get a bit of angle on this one. It's a flying spaceship, they're saying.
Look at this. People are getting out of the cars. It's a very dangerous situation, pulling over on the side of the freeway to capture this craft in the sky. We notice blue light underneath. This is incredible.
That's not, it's on the side. You could see when I seen it was on the side. So I don't know if we can zoom in again. You can see it's not underneath. It's actually a square on the side. You can now see that it's fatter at one end than it is the other, and you can see the cabin there. If it was in focus, you'd see that was a Goodyear blimp. You can see it's even got some sort of two tones to it there. Now from far away it looks like a UFO with a light underneath. Sure it does, but these guys are misleading on purpose.
Everything has to be blurry with them to show everybody, you see, don't they? They don't like showing clear
what
pictures.
I like about the person, he actually,
yeah, they don't take a frame and
he wants to
sharpen
get
it
a
up
better
for you.
shot, and I don't blame him. The whole freeway has just pulled over to the side lane to get their own photographic
They also got the worst footage of it as well.
Brent, what do you make of this?
Yeah,
Okay, this one might be a better one. Let's have a look. Still looks like a blimp. And if you even enhance that, which we'll give it a try because we've got lots of things happening at the moment. see if we can actually enhance this poor video. Those people that were closer on the other side of the road got a wee bit closer. So I'll just save that there. I'll just shrink that back down a bit. Like I said, we've got a lot to go through tonight, but I'll get through it. And it should be a good training one. I got some science to go over. Okay, so that's just a normal zoom in. That makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it? But you can see this one doesn't use algorithms to improve it. And you can start to see the pixels. But you can see here it looks like a square thing on the side of like a TV set. Aliens are transmitting TV to us. And if you open up that and try and do something with it, maybe you can tell. Haven't tried, but we'll try it now. This is where the CPU will probably start clagging. Okay, let's try sharpener, which takes a wee bit of CPU power. And see if that makes it any better. Okay. Well, it sort of looks like it's got a shake going on here, doesn't it? But yeah, this pixel's not there still. But yeah, it was interesting to see if we could improve it. It has improved it a wee bit. We can see a different shape.
I did go through the video on slow speed as well. At one point, I got a clearer picture of it, and you could actually see a tail fin on the back right-hand side.
Yeah. The brightness ain't doing much. But they don't even do that on the episode, do they? Yeah, that's probably the best you're going to get it, really. But you can see here on the outline here, if you draw around it, you know, you got definitely a round nose on it here. And it's going to like a pointy bit on there. And then it looks like it's got a TV set on the side. And it looks like it's got a little cabin coming down here. And then it goes around again, which is classic for a blimp. If I could draw it better. So that's from that crappy image, but there are better ones out there, like you said. A lot of people have taken it down now, though. Normally you'd use the line tool to do this bit better. Like that. And then you bend it upwards around the shape. If it'll let me grab it. You meant to be able to grab it. The CPU's playing up. There you go. Oh, now it worked. Stupid computer. Are you still there? Gone quiet. Have you dropped off? I'm just wondering if you dropped off then. So you can sort of bend the straight line around the object, you see. And you can draw another one. Yeah. Then you can sort of bend it to make the shape better, you see. But you can see here it's got a little cabin down here where it would be on the blimp. But anyway, even when I first saw that, I thought, oh yeah, it's definitely a blimp with a side screen on it, advertising something. But yeah, have a listen to what these guys say. They totally mislead them for 5 minutes, and then they look it up online. Believe it or not, they actually look up why they're broadcasting it. Why didn't they do that before they started broadcasting it? Because it's
the money.
The money, yeah, the money. Look, that's 68,000 for this rubbish. 68,000 views, amazing.
Wild scene. Like, people are very interested in what's going on. People are pulling over even by the thousands. Look at that. Like, yeah.
See, this is why it's worse quality as well. It's because they're filming in portrait instead of doing it landscape.
Look at those crowds, and they don't know what they're looking at.
Again, a very dangerous situation. What kind of stunt is going on, or is this stunt? We see an FAA blinking light on there, or is it? Some people right away will say this is a blimp.
It's just changing what's on the screen.
Everybody knows what blimps look like, and why all of a sudden people are pulling off on the side of the road to capture this. Here's a
you can see the tail fin had a blinking light there.
Comparison. We're looking at it. This was posted on Instagram just hours ago. We're sharing it with you. The link to the Instagram source is right there. But right now, what are we looking at? People again are stunned. Very dangerous, in my opinion. Is this some kind of Hollywood going on, or maybe a test to test us? Really weird. We've even got more videos coming in from different angles from the people on the ground, and obviously something's coming up. We're getting
why would a UFO sit in the sky with a light flashing on it?
Coming in on our Instagram.
Hey, look at me! I'm a
Just
UFO.
want to share their evidence, and we've got this second video coming up. Let's pull it up. Here it is.
Here's a good vantage point, actually. It's, I think, one of the clearest videos yet, and look at that. It kind of is giving itself away. Could this just be a blimp, Blake?
Well, if it is a blimp, again, why are people in panic? That's what's interesting to me.
Because they're idiots, that's why. Anyway, eventually look it up and they say, yeah, it's a blimp. Which they should then take down the video because it's not a UFO. Or they should rename it saying solved a blimp in the title. So they're dishonest. No doubt about it. And let's open that one up.
They won't, and they still haven't, because they're still making money from it.
That's right. I'll just close that one down. So, yeah. So I put that up 5 minutes later. I said it was a blimp. And then later people were confirming it. But anyway, just close it down. Don't want to spend too much time on that. And of course, Scott Brando got the flight radar, which proper investigators do. And you can see it's flying around a football stadium, giant stadium, right? With a advertising thing on. So you only had to do some research. So he was putting it up roughly at the same time they were putting up their video to make money off it. So obviously there's a picture from Flight Radar what type of thing it is, and it should have a little screen on the side, which it has here, but it looks like it's like a LED one. You know, it's made up of thousands of LEDs to make a, I don't know, large screen on the side of the balloon, I suppose.
Which is around just a small area as well.
I suppose it puts like Go Giants or something, you know, as it rolls along. You can see here the little cabin at the front here too. And you can see how it tapers off here, which we saw on that really blurry video, and it's also a nice round shape at the front there. But you couldn't see the fins on that poor video quality. What else you got here? Oh, I went too far, did I? Okay, has he got something else up here? He did have other videos of different people filming it, where you can see better, but I think people have taken them down now, once they realised it wasn't something amazing. Yeah, he's talking about the blimp has been verified. Oh, there you go. that's the LED thing on the side. That's what it was flashing. It scrolls around text, right? So it's been confirmed. It's also in the paper here, which come out. New DC UFO sighting. Now, how do we get rid of this? Big banner underneath. It doesn't seem to have a box to close it. No. We have to put up with it. So, alright, it's disappeared now. Okay, so New Jersey residents were convinced a flying saucer was hovering over the estate on Monday, with footage of supposed extraterrestrials incident going viral on social media, thanks to Thirdphaseofmoon and other people like him. TikTok user Baby Janine shared a video of what appeared to be a flying saucer. So I wonder if that's where they got theirs from. Was it? They said Instagram or whatever it's called, Instagram, not TikTok. Yeah, they got a picture of the Goodyear blimp. So yeah, it's pretty boring. Everybody sort of dumped onto it. But we ain't got no decent video footage now, by the looks of it.
500,000 likes. Oh,
no, it's ridiculous. I don't think there's any better videos out now. I think a lot of them have been taken down. Yeah, see that?
called.
Removed by uploader. So that was actually a clear one where you can actually see it. So who's this one? Viral trending news. So it looks like a different angle though there.
Oh my god! No puedo creer.
Still filmed the wrong way. No, it's still not very good, is it?
Que parar aquí en la, ¿cómo se llama? En la pista, en la carretera.
This doesn't even sound like in America. America's been taken over.
Cool.
Mexico, yeah, sounds like it. So yeah, case closed. I mean, but Finn put out a really good one here called Blimps 101. You know, Finn, we've talked about his UFO sighting of the TR-3B in UK, which is an incredible story. He also used to run Open Minds, but he's not a moderator of it anymore, which is a bit unfortunate. And yeah, he did this really good video here, which I said I'd use at today's show. Just give him a promo, and I'll plug it down the side in a minute. I'll just shrink it back down. Did the comments come in? Yep. So you can see my comment there. So let's have a watch of it. Let's hope it's loud enough.
hours or so we've seen a...
Yeah, we just need to up it a bit. I'll do.
Interesting misidentification of a blimp. People were pulling up on the motorway or the highway in New Jersey, getting out of their cars, filming it, pointing at it, going, wow. From a distance, it kind of looks a bit like a saucer, even though it's quite well lit. But when you look at it closer, you can tell that it is indeed a blimp. And here is a better look at that blimp and the blue light. It all makes sense once you've seen what's causing this illusion, and then you look at it, you look at the video again, you realize that's what it is. It's the Goodyear blimp. It's heading in this direction. The right hand side is its tail end. The light in the middle, if you've never seen it before, it is a bit confusing, it is a bit misleading, and you could be mistaken for thinking it's a flying saucer in the distance. I think those people that watched it for long enough now will probably have worked out what it was.
Mm.
Here's another view of it from a different angle where you can't see the blue light, but it's obviously a blimp. Oh, and there's some lovely lens flare.
Yeah, from that.
So
right
here's
there.
a more interesting video from a while back. This one is fascinating. And I remember when I first saw it, and I didn't know much about UFOs or UFO footage and different
You
types
got
of
conned?
misidentifications, I was pretty convinced that this was a legit flying saucer. Because what else could it be, right? There's a dome on the top. It's completely lit up. It looks like it's internally lit up. So I'll just let you watch the video first.
UFO.
I have covered this one before too.
This is compelling. It almost looks like there's a dome on the top, and if it wasn't for this little bit on the left-hand side, it would be a perfect flying saucer with dome on the top. And it's kind of gold, and it's like it's lit up from inside. Incredible, right? Couldn't it may be a blimp, but doesn't look like a blimp. It's not doing anything impossible, so that's so fair to suggest maybe it's a blimp, but the more you look at it, the more you're thinking, it can't be a blimp, it's lit up. And it's like, how could that be a blimp?
Well, we know better now, guys, don't we, about
Fascinating
advertising balloons.
footage. It's like a silver flying saucer, of which have been reported, unambiguous encounters with these have been reported for decades, so why not just accept that this is one of them? And the problem is, it is a blimp. It's just very fooling. It's quite an illusory... because it's out of focus, it really does look like a dome on the top. But don't worry, all is about to be revealed. Here's another one. This is from China. Looks almost identical to the Stuttgart footage.
Look how high up it is too.
Look at that. It is identical, except that it's not gold, it's white. But you've got the dome on the top, you've got a slight kind of tail on the left-hand side, but if you take away the tail, you've got what looks like a flying saucer. But wait for it, because this guy is clever. I think he knows what it is. He's waiting for the big
optical
reveal.
zoom instead of digital zoom.
Happens when he zooms in.
Although he should have zoomed in
And
sooner.
suddenly everything is explained.
It's gone behind the building now, though.
It's a blimp that is internally lit, where the source of some of the internal light, at least, is coming from the top.
Which
so
makes
with
a dome.
the print of the Sanyo logo, or whatever other logo is on that blimp, because you'll see there are other models that have a similar look, and you just put the logo in the middle. Once you zoom out and the camera is slightly out of focus, it creates a perfect illusion of a dome on top.
Yeah.
Bingo. Now you have a flying saucer.
That's
Here
why
are
you've
some
got
other
blue
examples
face.
of these. Here's one of the best ones.
That.
This is probably the one that was responsible for the Stuttgart 1993 sighting.
So there you go.
And here is a slightly better video of the Sanyo.
And of course, you got the smaller blimps as well for advertising.
So now back to the Stuttgart video. Very convincing.
Anyway, we could leave it there, I suppose.
It's exactly the same thing. It's a blimp internally.
So I'll just put that down the side so go and visit Finn. He's actually got another video up, which is quite funny and interesting, on moon anomalies and Mars anomalies, which you'll probably enjoy quite a lot. So if I put the link there, you can go to the video and then just click on his
lit with a
smaller thing
with a logo running along the side, which is the main reason why you get this illusion of their...
If you just click on his name, Finn, you better see all his other videos here. So Finn has been in the UFO field a bit now, and go and sub to him and say, yeah, you heard about me on the Eqyptian channel. How many people's he got on his channel now? 120, so he's gone up a bit since last time I seen. But he's got another one there. If you click on his name, as I said, and videos. This one here about the frog on the moon and stuff like that, which you'll kind of have a good chuckle with. He's quite amusing. He's quite funny. But yeah, I won't play it.
It's probably another channel like the Third Phase don't like. He's debunking their stuff as well. So
yeah,
he's having a go at him as well, don't they?
Yeah, he's pretty good video analysis actually. He often looks at my stuff and says, "Well done, good job." So yeah, I've known him for 4 years now. Yeah, and I normally send them stuff that I found out. See what you think. What was this one? New Zealand Herald. All right, on to Venus. Looks like it might need to be scaled down a bit. 100. Astronomers claim to have found hints of life on Mars. How many times have we heard that, right? So, apparently the atmosphere is so acidic that it dissolves landers that they send there. So the landers don't last long because the acid eats it away. It's a bit like the Aliens movie, but the planet is the alien. It consumes people that go there. They reckon if the human flesh was exposed to the air, you would dissolve in 5 minutes, I think it is, or some craziness like that. But anyway, it says here why they think there's life. And let's see if the reader works. A London astrophysicist, a woman, I think it is, was studying it. I'll read that bit out first.
Several outside experts, and the study authors themselves, agreed this is tantalizing but said it is far from the first proof of life on another planet. They said it doesn't satisfy the extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence standard established by the late Carl Sagan, who speculated about the possibility of life in the clouds of Venus in 1967. It's not a smoking gun, said study co-author David Clements, an Imperial College of London astrophysicist.
I suppose they're going to be debating over it now. Oh. Why is it not selecting? Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. It's crazy how it works. Rain got Rob Nagami.
It's not even gunshot residue on the hands of your prime suspect. But there is a distinct whiff of cordite in the air which may be suggesting something. As astronomers plan for searches for life on planets outside our solar system, a major method is to look for chemical signatures that can only be made by biological.
Open there. We got the problem with the voice again. Might have to change it.
Major method is to look for chemical signatures that can only be made by biological processes called biosignatures. After 3 astronomers met in a bar in Hawaii, they decided to look that way at the closest planet to Earth, Venus. They searched for phosphine, which is 3 hydrogen atoms and a phosphorus atom.
Phosphine. I don't know why that's a signature of life though.
On Earth, there are only 2 ways phosphine can be formed, study authors said. One is in an industrial process. The gas was produced for use as chemical warfare agent in World War I.
Right.
The other way is as part of some kind of poorly understood function in animals and microbes. Some scientists consider it a waste product, others don't.
Let's look at it's limited to how much I read. But it's a bit of better voice than the other ones.
Phosphine is found in ooze at the bottom of ponds, the guts of some creatures like badgers, and perhaps most unpleasantly associated with piles of penguin guano, Clements said.
Yeah, but this means it's got to be on the ground, right? They're detecting this in a layer of atmosphere through spectroanalysis. So that means the gas has got to come up from below to the atmosphere. But then they're saying there could be like a layer of cold air and less acidic air where microbes can grow in the atmosphere. So are they sort of floating around and farting in the atmosphere? Is that what they're trying to say here? I don't know. Kind of does sound like it, doesn't it? So don't need to read out the rest of that though. You can look up more on it if you want, see how it develops. No doubt there'll be more debating online about what the results are there. So at least it gives us enough to go on, you know. Phosphine they detected in the atmosphere. Whether it means there's life in the atmosphere layer or it's coming up from below, I don't know. But you'd think that maybe life would be underground, maybe, you know, if it's that hostile. And maybe it can produce pockets of oxygen or whatever. And just put that in mention. That's what we'll do. Pass on that onto the next one. Alright, so I've got some of these horrible people trashing me on the Black Vault here. I'm not too sure who this geezer is, whether he's one that had a problem with our channel or not, but out their channel has trashed John all over the internet. He's been in John Black Vault, which I've never done. I don't know if you guys even know that I've trashed him. All I said is I don't like him appearing on Coast to Coast Radio last live, because they're seen as a fraud promoter, you know, and they promote everybody under the sun. He's trying to bring people to his childish and ridiculous site. He's a nasty, snippy narcissist. Stay away, kids. Those people that know me know that's not true. So yeah, these are the texts I've got. But I did get actually a nice comment just before. Where is it? From King Brian Boro. You know, when I first seen you criticised him, I called you out for it, but you have made it undeniable. I apologise and well done, sir. So that's the exposing of Tyler faking content. So people don't, they first of all don't believe it and attack you. Instead of just sitting and patiently watching it to the end, they watch the first minute of it and then click off and start posting hate comments, right? So people do change their minds and do come back to the channel, right? They realise that we are honest.
Some people don't listen, though, do they?
Yes.
Won't listen.
Yeah, they don't listen. They don't watch the thing right to the end. It's only a 10-minute video or something like that too. There's no reason why they can't watch it all. And then they can go and test it out for themselves. What's all this other stuff? Oh, this is all these other ones are from Darren. What's his name? Bache. I call him Bitchy. This guy here, he said some nasty stuff about me saying his video was a international space station. You guys are the great debunkers of videos. Oh, moron. Mock my voice, you piece of shite. Because I went because he had a voice like a pack-a-day smoker, didn't he? Pop by for a coffee. I put the kettle on for you. Well, someone has to try to weed out. I'm not sure why he puts talking about coffee there. To weed out the fake videos so the real ones can be looked at without so much skepticism. I'm laughing at your comment of the orb object I found. You're assuming it is the International Space Station. Wrong. Laugh out loud. This object was visible by my eye and filmed in infrared. Well, as you know, the International Space Station, depending on the location, can be seen with the naked eye, because I've shown you past videos of that, right? And if you got a even on a smartphone can film it, right? So I'm not too sure why he's saying you can see it with his eye. We already know that you can see it with your eye most of the time, and also other satellites. You don't need a camera to see a satellite go overhead, do you? Most of the time, if you spot the bright ones. This object was visible by the eye and infrared, which makes it a lot easier. You don't know anything about infrared filming. This object was 60 to 75 feet, but how would you know that? Unless you've got a laser pointer or a rangefinder that tells you how far away it is, or radar system. Just above the trees, I found the International Space Station, the stars, planes, shooting stars, many objects in the sky. I could not tell you what they are, so keep trying. The International Space Station, idiot, he said here. So we're actually going to go through this properly, because remember I said I looked at it casually and said I think it's the International Space Station, but I need more information to analyze it. So we went through
he's had a go at me as well, Paul, because I turned around and said it was the space station that went over, and he said it was 75 feet above him, he said.
Yeah, but...
And I said, how can you tell it was 75 feet above you?
Yeah.
You never made, never said.
Well, he's filming it with a camera with a tele zoom on it, isn't he? I'm not sure what the zoom capability is. It looked like it's 25 or 30 times zoom on the front. But he gets nastier and nastier, saying that he's going to put copyright claim for using his video and all this sort of stuff. So we'll get to that in a minute. And all the snapshots are there. But this one here wasn't needed. So I just put those in the
copyright on them, and that's it. It's too late now, because you can see it anyway. It's freely available for anybody to watch.
Yeah, it's on this third phase of video, and he says you can't use my name, but on this we'll just play the original video again, just to refresh in our minds. Probably have to queue it up. After that. Anyway, someone found other cam footage of this one since our live show of various planes flying past, and they look just identical to this. Some even have flashing lights, and others didn't have flashing lights. And one was flying this direction, another one was flying from the airport away, and another one flying towards it. So they're definitely planes. So that one's proven. This is the footage here that he shared. And you can see it's moving in a set direction. There's no flashing lights like a plane would have. And it's like a constant round shape. Now, normally you get out your apps, right? And you aim it at the sky for flight radar, see if it's a plane. And also heavens above to see if it's a satellite or planet or meteorite or something like that. But obviously it's moving too slow to be a meteorite. But it could be a rocket launch. Now the only other thing I could think of is it could be a lead balloon. One of those 40-inch ones that look like weather balloons, which got LED lights on it. But we've seen it through infrared here. So what's it look like without an infrared camera? Was it self-illuminated? Probably not. But here it looks like a lead balloon because it looks like it's lit, but it's going through an infrared camera, which changes it because you can see the stars here. See, look how big the stars look. You know, they look like, you know how big stars when you look at it in the sky? That's a fairly big star, right? Compared to this one. So this object's got to be closer than this.
Space station.
Yeah, it looks like a space station flyover. And you can see other stars here further away.
So I reached out to the gentleman who submitted this video, and we were able to get his testimony within 24 hours from Darren. And Darren is about to
There you go,
share
tell
with
his
us
name.
what he experienced. And we're going to get Richard Giordano on top of his testimony.
Well, even Richard said he thinks it could be a satellite, but he doesn't know.
To give us his insight of what he thinks was captured by Darren.
Hey guys.
And there's that voice that I took a Mickey off. Hey guys.
Thanks for taking a look at my video.
Look, it's got his name on the screen. And he's saying I'm not allowed to use that because it breaks his privacy. What an idiot. Yeah, so if I go back to the comments, right, that's probably my one. Some of them are my replies with his. Let's see. Now that was GUFON. Mine. Okay, what's the last comment he said here? First of all, I'd like to meet you in person, you really tough talker over the internet. But hey, I'm talking to a guy that uses a crappy alien whatever to talk to people. What is it? Well, I actually coded it, actually. Could you code something like that, mate? Don't like the people to see your face. Well, there's actually videos out there with me on picture. It's just that I don't want my picture on the side. It takes up more CPU. When you're spouting off wisecracks and mocking people, well, you did go to Third Phase of the Moon, which should know better. There are fakes, the frauds. So only frauds submit their material to frauds. So straight away, this guy's suspect, wasn't he? Trying to sound like an expert. Well, I am. I got degrees to prove it. Listen to yourself, pal. You do not sound like an expert. Don't know why, but there I will offer again a full clip. Nothing done, and you'll see not slowed down, not a satellite or international space station. Up to you. I'll send it to you to prove you're wrong, Mr. Expert. So I said to him, I am tough. You can swim to New Zealand. A long way to come. Still not wanting to listen, eh? I'm answering your attacking me from the start. Butthurt at mocking voice. Do you watch GUFON radio? He mocks everybody. He loves that dream team. You somewhat have double standards. You ask for experts to analyze and tell what it is, and now you, and it's obviously on the next screen, and he's put this one out previously. I call you a clown 100%. You still think you're making any sense? You don't know shit about me, my video, and you're no expert. So I asked him for all the details, right? I asked him for his MUFON case number because he said it's also submitted to MUFON. So why didn't he have that listed with when he gave it to Third Phase of the Moon, that he's given it to MUFON to analyze? Do you listen to your videos? You sure don't sound smart, you and your fat little boyfriend. So I think he's talking about Robert there. And oh, you can take the video down, or YouTube going to I lose. Clown. I think he means you lose. He mistyped there. So he's threatening me and he's insulting me with hate speech, right? Saying that I'm gay.
Nice person.
Yes, idiot. I could have reported that and have him taken down. So where's the other replies? There was a few more here somewhere. He just went on and on, this guy. You are a piece of work, pal. You started this by mocking my voice. And the threat, you will lose. That's because he's trying to threaten me to take down the video. He will lose that. It's under fair use anyway. Oh, I'm thinking you called me a fool. Called me a fool, I think he means, as well as trying to look like an expert. Oh, that's the ISS. I've seen that all the time. As for my video, yeah, okay, but no permission for you using my name, anything I say. But hey, okay, no worries, bud. Hey, how about sending your email? I'll send you a clip of the object not trimmed or slow motioned. It was not slowed down. You'll see what I mean. So we'll go through why I thought it was a wee bit suspect, his video, in a minute. So he's calling me a clown there. So yeah, that's just some of the messages that he was sending me anyway. This guy here.
Video. Hopefully your panel can figure out what's going on with this. I've never seen anything like this before. First time I've filmed something like this, that's for sure. I film in infrared. I do a lot of infrared filming at night, so I catch a lot of objects, a lot of things. I've got a data bank, but I just don't know how to do all the.
And he doesn't know how to carry a smartphone to have the apps ready to aim at the sky to just see what they are.
Editing stuff, and so. But anyway, this one, me and the dog were out filming one night, and the dog looked up, and sure enough, I looked up, and the thing was floating right above our heads. It flew across towards the trees, and then it turned towards the Rocky Mountains.
So again, we've got no direction mentioned. Rocky Mountains, so we have to look where he's located and work it out by the map. We've got no date and time there, and we've got no reference to a MUFON case number. Even when I asked it in the comments, he refused to give it, and he said, you look it up. So I did. I originally found it and posted the link in a reply comment saying, well, here it is, I found the number, which will be here somewhere. Coming up.
But it shows that he looks stoned.
Well, I don't know if he's
a heavy
stoned.
smoker as well.
Well, that's what I said to him. He sounds like a pack-a-day smoker. That's why I went, rah, rah.
There's trees. In the video, it looks like it goes down, but it's not. It's just going straight across the mountains. So
he sounds like that guy that does the sci-fis. Remember, he was like a chain smoker. He was on the Alien movie. Remember that guy? I can't remember what his name was. He's got the same sort of deep voice. He did the Visa card ad once as well, I believe. Or MasterCard. MasterCard, I think it was.
It made not a sound. You can crank up the video, and you can't hear nothing. You can hear me. I'm breathing. You hear me fumbling around, trying to get it in frame.
Yeah.
I had it hooked up to a camera, just a Bushnell. Little Bushnell camera, and I had a monitor on it, so I had to fumble around to get it in frame.
So is that optical zoom on that?
I got it for over a minute.
Well, it's like the space station to me.
I think I've caught it.
Yeah, or a satellite.
But once I did, I got it for over a minute, and I think I've caught it in other films, other videos.
I was trying to find the camera. Where is it?
It's not. It's just going straight across the mountain. Me and the dog were out filming one night, and the dog looked up, and sure enough, I looked up, and the thing was floating.
Is that something new? I'm not too sure what that is. Yeah.
Floating right above our heads. And
where's the camera bit disappeared
anyway,
too?
This one, me and the dog were out filming one night, and the dog looked up, and sure enough, I looked up, and the thing
something
was
new that Google's added
right above our heads. It flew across towards the trees, and then it turned towards the Rocky Mountains. I couldn't see anything once it passed the trees. And in the video, it looks like it goes down, but it's not. It actually is just going straight across the mountains. So I don't know. Hopefully you guys can figure it out for me. It made not a sound. You can crank up the video.
So let's figure it out from, shall we?
You can't hear
He's sending it to the wrong people.
You hear me. I'm breathing. You hear me fumbling around.
He doesn't mention that he sent it to MUFON a year before. This footage is from 2019, guys.
I'm trying to get it in frame. I had it hooked up to a camera. Just a Bushnell. Little Bushnell camera.
A Bushnell camera. Do we know anything about those ones at all, guys? I'm not sure if it said right there. Bushnell camera. Let's see what comes up. Hunting cameras. Bushnell. So, can't see the one that he had. They're like trap cams, right? So we want infrared, maybe. Don't know if we can find. Here we go. Is that the one he had in the hand? Times 10 optical, times 40 optical zoom, I think I said. 5 times 40 millimeter night vision. That's it. That'll look like the same one, is it? It's too big. Yeah, come on. What's going on with this page? It's got something sneaky on the page there. No, it's not too expensive then. 227 New Zealand, so that's 100 US. How do we get rid of this thing? Okay, so is it 40 times zoom? Is that what it means? It looks similar to these other ones though, doesn't it? Built-in infrared illuminator up to 657 feet, 200 meters. Viewing distance. It can be used during the day and low light. Optical lens, does that mean zoom? 40 millimeter. I don't know if that means zoom, does it? Not sure if that's what it means. Doesn't say zoom, does it? 40 millimeter. I think that just means the big eyepiece on it, isn't it? Means
like
the front.
on the front.
Yeah, you can see how big it is on the front there, you see. Looks like 40 millimeters, isn't it? 40 millimeters, 4 centimeters, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it has zoom on it. So how do you manage to zoom? Because those stars was definitely closer than they should have been in that footage, right? Well, they look closer because it's long exposure at overexposure. You know what I'm trying to say. So what's these other ones here? See, that doesn't look like a handheld one. That's even bigger. 60 millimeters. So they got it going in front of a smartphone here, look. So he said he had attached it to some other camera, didn't he? There you go, look. Onto a smartphone. Don't think that's a really good way of doing something though, is it? And you want to get a professional camera and screw it on the front. But does it have optical zoom on it? Magnify. Oh, here we go. That's zoom, isn't it? 40 times. That's got to be optical times 40, right? So that one's 40. So what did the other one say? That's not going to go. Or have we got open up separately, have we? Here it is here. What optic magnification. Here we go. That one's only 5.
5.
So I don't know if it's 5 times or 40 times zoom, but that doesn't make a difference, doesn't it? We need to know the model number. Whether it's on the ticket, I don't know. Let's have a look. Where's the ticket? Right. There it is here. So this is thing. His sighting documented on MUFON. And you can see here it's June the 12th, 2019. So this is the orb, I suppose you'd call it, orb in BC. So he's in British Columbia, which is in Canada. So he's in Canada looking across down towards USA because he said it was heading towards Rocky Mountains, right? So it's coming down this direction here, which we know is south, and we know over this side of America is east. So that's heading towards southeast on the map here. Okay, so hasn't got big explanation on the MUFON one. East Cotonaise, BC, Canada at Horseshoe Lake. The object flew right over me / trailer and flew over the trees and kept going out of sight. So a trailer being caravan, we call them caravans. He was out there camping. Kept going out of sight, bright and no sound. Never seen anything like it. So he's repeating something similar to what he said on Third Face of the Moon. So I've already downloaded it, but you can see here now we've got sort of a direction where he was. And of course I looked it up on the map here. He's at Fort Steele, BC, Canada. And if we zoom out, there's the border between Canada and USA. And the Rocky Mountains, I got listed separately, hopefully. Rocky Mountains. Should be a red thing. There you go. So he's up here, and it's heading in this direction. So we need to find something that matches that flight path there. Does it make sense? So I tried to put it on the same map, but it didn't quite work. But let's try it now to Rocky Mountains. I'll take it stuffs up.
Hey, Chris on the side. That's coming.
What's on the side? That one down here.
I was just saying Chris on the side. Just come watching.
Oh, Chris is on the side. Yeah. Hey, Chris. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so we've got it on the same map now. I'll just close that one down. And looks like it. Oh, right, it didn't keep it on the same map after all. Up here, wasn't it? It's got rid of. Oh no, it should be on the map. So where's the dotted line? I suppose we can't go across it because it's going across the border, so it won't plot a straight line for us. But we knew he was up here. Let's see. If we click that, will it show it? It's not. Oh, here it is. Fort Steele. There you go. Now we've got an angle. So we got to look on the satellite tracking to see if anything's flying overhead, like International Space Station on that angle there. Makes sense? Okay. So we got information now. So we can convert this time into UTC time, and I've got this program here. Where is it? Called World Time Buddy. I'll post a link to it. It's quite handy for converting UTC time. And has it changed the date? You have to put it up here. Put the date in, which was last year, June 12th, and the time was 1 o'clock in the morning, right? So we'll plug that in. Where's 1 in the morning? Here we are, 1 a.m. UT time is 7 a.m. Okay, so now we know what to do. It's plus 6 hours. So that's quite a handy little tool there. We can go back in time, check out the UTC. And now we can plug it into inthesky.org live map of satellites. So I'll post a link to that as well. Of course, we know if you had the app on the phone, Heavens Above, you could just aim it at the sky at the time, and it would have sort of overlaid the International Space Station or other satellites that's in the sky that you may or may not see with your eye. But this one here will only show you the bright satellites that you can see with your eye. So
a nice tool to have.
Yeah, in the sky map. We're still learning this tool. It's got quite a lot of stuff to it. You know, you got 3D globe, you got satellites above your horizon. So we'll just go over that in a minute. We've been through this before, but it's quite a complex program. So first of all, you need to set your location. I couldn't quite get his location that he was at, so I just chose one at random, but it will give us inaccurate information about the horizon level, because it's got to come from this location here, but I think it's somewhere over here, so it's going to give the wrong thing, but it will still give us the rough map area. For some reason, I'm not sure if I could actually find out on this map here the GPS coordinates, that because we could plug that straight in, but I can't see where you get the GPS coordinates from the map here. I think you can do it on Google Earth, can't you? But you can't do it on the maps. And you should better click on there, right? And it should have some Google GPS coordinates here, right? And it's just telling us the time at the moment, and it's 10 degrees Celsius. Pretty cool over there. But there's no GPS coordinates I can't see. Nearby. So this is where Google Earth is better. But this is a lot faster, of course. And if we put up the satellite map of that, you can see how rocky it is there. So he said it headed in that direction there and dipped below his horizon. Alright, so it's sort of obviously... with distance you got the horizon thing. That happens, of course the mountains get in the way, right? So we need to plug into that software and work out all the other stuff. So we want to make sure you get the correct year, which we always seem to get wrong. It always changes back for some reason, so you've got to keep an eye on it. So we want 2019. We want June 12. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think there's something I got configured. Doesn't matter though. 12th June, and it should be 7 in the morning, right? So we want to change that back to 00. Well, it's 7:01. It seems it's gone back a few minutes here for some reason, but that's alright. Freeze freeze. Okay, it's frozen at the moment. So this is at that particular time. Straight away we can see all the bright satellites that you can see with your eye. And there's no International Space Station, but look here. GPS 7 is straight over that location. Here and here. Alright. So on that mountain edge here, Eva said it's going southeast, which is maps exactly to where this satellite is. And it says it's in Canada at the moment here. And it looks like it's heading towards the Rocky Mountains this way. And let's see, we'll just zoom down a wee bit here. So it's still in Calgary, which, can we see that on the map here? Where is Calgary? It's got to be further up here, right? So maybe it was further up here that it was flying over. Let's see if we can get Calgary on there. It's not going to let me do it, is it? Calgary, Canada.
Oh.
Okay, whereabouts is that? It's pretty close to that same location. There it is there. Right next to the Rockies. That's right in the same location, but it's just further behind, right? So it's flying, the satellite's flying in that direction there. Right, Calgary. So he's here. That satellite's going southeast, which looks like it's coming to where his camera is. Now, I'm not too sure how accurate this is compared to doing the online thing. But you can see there's no space station fly over there. And the space station is out. Yeah, it's a satellite, it's a GPS satellite. And
it wasn't a UFO anyway, so
yeah, so that's a good candidate. Unfortunately, we can't plug in flight radar, which is the other app we should do to see if there's any high altitude planes flying overhead. Now, there could have easily been a plane that's high up and we can't see the blinking lights. And of course you won't hear the jet engines either. But to me, it kind of looks like it's satellite. It looks like it's right on that path that he's said he was filming at, heading towards Denver. So this one looks obviously more accurate. I think this is slightly out here, but you can see it's heading southeast. And also you can find the space station is somewhere out here, I think. So if we type in space station there, that's if he's given us the correct time. Space Station International, yep. Okay, so add it to the map for us. And it's given us some information here which is cut off. So it's not much use to us, but it's here somewhere. There it is, IS. So it's way out in the middle of the Pacific there, is it? Or is it Atlantic? Let's zoom out a bit. That's Pacific, isn't it? That side, that's South America here, so it's way down here. So it hasn't even reached him up there yet. Right, it's going straight through here. And he's up here. Way, way below where he is. So it can't be the space station. So yeah, we were wrong. But in a way we're right, because you can see here these are different color codes of red and whatnot. It gives you a magnitude of brightness, which you can look up here on this chart here. Color by satellites. If you click on that, it breaks down the color codes. Although I don't know if you can tell the difference between the reds, But we got bright red as magnitude 12 to 8. And next one down looks almost similar as magnitude 8 to 5. And I believe it has to be a minimum of magnitude 6 to be able to see it with your eyes. So if it's going to be in the range there. And of course, the smaller the number, the brighter it's going to get. So you want magnitude 1 to be very bright here. But you can see even the space station isn't that color. If we go up, I actually got a screen snapshot and made it easier, but I like doing it real time again. You can see all these look very similar in red color tones, right? There's the space station, and you can see it looks like a dark red, same color as that one up here. Looks exactly the same color, right? So it means that you can see it with your eyes. If you can see the International Space Station, you'll be able to see this one. And it will look exactly the same. It'll just be gradually flying towards the Rocky Mountains there. And away she goes. So I think it's that.
And they're both flying in low orbit as well.
Yeah, you can click on that there, and if I scale down the font, you might be able to read what it says here. You have to scale it right down. And you can see here you've got the full panel now. It's not made for thing. And it's got magnitude unknown here, but it's got the color code, which is kind of strange. And because we haven't put in the right coordinates there, it hasn't said the right angles there, right? Distance 200 kilometers, is it? 20,000 kilometers above the Earth. I think 10 kilometers is considered to be outer space, isn't it? And 20 means it's another 10 above that. Longitude, latitude. I think this is thing here, AZ, 66 degrees. But that's based on my location, which we couldn't put in properly on this software, at least. It is online software, it is free at least. And you can see here it doesn't allow us to move that around or anything to be able to read it properly. What else do we need to know about this software? Well, we need to prove that it has got the correct time and metadata, right? Robert, who's the guy on with Paul? Who are you?
Me. Charles.
You better tell Rob who you are. Charles. Charles.
Paul's managed to get me on here.
Although I think it's still using your laptop mic, because I think it's still echoing. I think you need to have a play with that later, but see if you can improve on it. I think you need to go into the Discord software and make sure it's a headset microphone and not the wrong one. I think it's using the PC one still, even though you're using a headset. But Robert has the same problem. I think he uses his one set on.
I just got headphones on their own, and I got camera and that sitting on top of the screen. So I'm using a mic cameras.
So I think this fits exactly what he's seeing in the sky, moving slowly across the sky. And I think it's still playing there. I think it's still going on its time there. Have we got frozen? Oh no, we got it frozen. So let's see. It's 2 minutes before he saw it, right? So that means it's going to move further down to his location, right? Because he's down here on this map here when he sees it. So what speed did it say it was moving at? Did it have a speed? I can't remember if it had a speed there. Well, it's at 20,000 20,000 kilometers up. No, 20 kilometers up, was it? Oh, God, I can't remember now.
3,000 up above the ground.
Was it 20,000 kilometers or feet?
Oh.
Or meters?
Well, yeah.
Was it meters? I don't know. I have to look at it again. But you can see it's already travelled a fair distance here in a minute. Let's have a look. What's it say? That's not the time there. Where's the playback time? There it is here. Alright, it's 10 minutes on. So it is very slow moving. Is it progressing? So let's reset time to now. No, don't want to do that. 58:59. Okay, it's set back just a minute before he sees it. Hardly looks like it's moved. Alright, it's updating now. They move very slowly on this. Doesn't look like it's hardly moving on the screen here. Really slow. So he films it at 1 minute past 7. Which is UT's time to what his setting was. They call it PT time here. Okay, it's coming up almost to where he sees it, and it's getting down to his location, which is down here. I wonder if we can speed it up a bit. I still can't see where it's got speed factor. Can't see it here. I suppose you could scroll that along. Okay, it's coming up to his time now. It's almost 1 minute past 7. And you can see it hasn't updated on the screen. I don't think it's very accurate, to tell the truth. It might be because I've scaled up the DPI here. So that's now when he would have seen it, and he filmed it for how many minutes was it? I got the video downloaded here. Let's see if I can play it.
Minutes or something. And
Alright, so here's his video. If it'll let me drag it across. Always goes and takes it back. Okay, so what's the timestamp on it? So he only films it for 1.5 minutes. So yeah, that looks like it's moving really, really slowly there. You can't hear any. I don't know if you can hear any plane noises or helicopters. You can see the sound keeps going jerky for some reason. There's a bug that flew past. Can't see any other flashing lights. But it's just funny that that's moving in the same direction as what he's filming on that satellite map.
you've got
So it's He sees it to 7 past, so obviously there must be mountain ranges here, which we can't see because we ain't got a map of the terrain. But you can see here it's already moved almost a minute and a half, so he's lost it by this point. So it's hardly moved in the sky at all. I suppose that's why they put it at a certain altitude, right? They don't want it moving too fast because it's for GPS. So there's the other GPS. Normally you get several GPS satellites. You need 3 of them to triangulate. There must be another one further down. Was there? It's normally 3 of them. Navstar. Could that be the 3rd one? It makes a triangle, you see. There's the triangle pattern. So once you've got 3 of them, you can triangulate, you see. So they all say it's also known as Navstar 62. So this one's called Navstar 77. So look at all the different names they call it. They call it GPS 28-19, GPS BIRM-6, Navstar 62, USA 201. Why have so many names for a satellite? But you can see, yeah, there's definitely 3 in the sky at all times, right? For triangulation. Plus you got this one over here. You got another one down here. So you got 3 satellites over that area there. And when you zoom it right down, you can see there's quite a lot of GPS satellites up there. And obviously, not all of them are bright. What's going on? See those ones down there? Why won't it let me go down? And there was some there that you couldn't see. You couldn't see it with your eye. Why won't it let me scroll down? It's a useless map, really. Am I going the wrong direction? Maybe. Hang on. No, let's zoom in. Let's zoom in out. Why can't I zoom out more? Pretty useless. Why is it not zooming out more? I'll have to do that, right? But you can see here's some on the map. Are black, which means you can't see them. It's too small to see it now. I don't know, it was scrolling around before. Here we go. Why can't it scroll? Go up. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I have to whitelist it here, probably. The script's maybe mucking around with it. I'll probably have to reload it now, probably. Is it working now? Oh, that's working. So it's something to do with the scripts on Brave here. See all these ones here? They're not visible, but why? Obviously, because the sun's not lighting them up. So we need to understand how the solar system works to understand why those ones over here are not lit up, but the ones over America and Britain are all lit up. So if we go to the editor now and explain it, it'll make sense. It just proves that the Earth is not flat, that's all. So first of all, we want to draw. Why has it got CPU? CPU's lagging. Okay, I want to draw planet Earth. That's not planet. Where's the sphere one? There we go. So we've got planet Earth. I want to scale it up. And we got a sun. Fair distance away, right? Now the Earth, as you know, spins anti-clockwise, so it goes around this way. Right. Then we want to change So if we draw a side of a drew America on there, which I'm probably no good at drawing it, I'll just draw it as a triangle and something sticking down there. Okay, so the satellite's coming over this direction, and this is heading this way. So what happens is, because it, you know, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Well, there's the east coast of America here. So it's slowly towards, so this is how day-night works, right? But this is on the tilt as well. But we won't worry about the tilt. So the east coast of America is heading towards the sun. So it looks like the sun is rising, and time gets to this other side here, this rotating. That's gone into the darkness, right? It's because the sun's sort of always in the middle. Slowly changes because of the seasons, right? But don't worry about that. We're just talking about the day-night cycle here. So if we just go back, so if you draw the, let's see, we just do it as a solid triangle, maybe. South America. No, stuffed it up. Need to grab the corner. Okay, so there's America. And if you imagine the sun, so draw another sun. Instead of rotating this around, we'll just assume that we're seeing it from the ground upwards. So we're seeing the sun. We'll just create another sun. Don't fill it in. So we're seeing like rises in the east here, and it looks like it sets in the west, right? And as we know, he's filming at 1 o'clock in the morning, so this sun has come from the east. Now it's got dark, and it's got very dark, and now it's over here. So the sun rays are coming this direction, right? Which we should really do as red. And it's lighting up this other side of the globe where America is, right? So it's it's lighting up that half of the world at the moment. It's on a slight tilt. Does that make sense? Are you there still?
Yeah.
Charles. You went too
That
quiet.
perfect sense.
So we have to fill that in, really. So it's, you say this part's in darkness, and this other side is in light. So this is why it's a globe, right? Makes perfect sense. How can we fill that in? Big brush, maybe. Oh, so it's not transparent, but that side of the globe is all lit, right? And the rest of it's in darkness. So that makes sense. So that's 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's over Asia at the moment, right? So now you got to think of a satellite. Now we're talking about the GPS satellite coming into view. What's making it lit is the sun here. So we got the globe still. We need to make a satellite color orange. What's going on? Orange. I suppose we've got it set too big, right? We have to set it down to 2 or something. Okay, so the satellite's not really big, but that'll do. You can see it's got, if I zoom in, you can see it's got the grid pattern. 3-dimensional. So if I grab it now, So this this satellite's spinning around the Earth. If I can grab it. So this is spinning around the Earth at a different orbit, right? Going around very slowly, as we saw on that diagram. So this is going to be lit up because it's on the edge of the planet here, right? It's on the edge here. Oh, what's going on? What did I do? I deformed it. It's on the edge of the planet here because it's in orbit, right? So it's going to be hit by some of the sun rays as it's passing over America because it's going this direction, right? So it's going to be what they call flaring. You know, you see it with those satellites with the big solar panels. Now, I think GPS satellites have big solar panels on them. Let's have a look. GPS. Was JD still with us, or did he leave? GPS.
I'm seeing him for a while.
I haven't heard from him. Did he say he was tired or something? Let's see if we've got an image of one. And here you go. They've got the big solar panels on the side, right? The square boxes with a antenna that's aimed towards the ground. And big solar reflectors, just like the International Space Station. That's why you can see them on the ground, you see. There's another one there. And of course, some even expand even further out. Look at that. And GPS 2, there you go. Look. No, that one's got multiple antennas or whatever it is on the front there. So, yeah.
This is not a UFO.
No, it's not a UFO. It's going to be a GPS satellite. You can see it's got a lot of reflective area on them. Which it would catch some of these sun rays, which even though that side of the planet's in darkness, this is higher up, so it's going to catch some of the sun rays as it's coming around. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So it's coming around here. And of course, once it gets too far around the edge of the planet here, that's going to dim down and you won't be able to see it. So that would be going around that direction in orbit, you know, around like that, probably. Probably comes around like that one. If that makes any sense to you, rather than going around that way. They do go in different orbit paths, right? You know, they cover different things. You know, you have a ring of them this way. So, like the Starlink satellites, you draw a circle to represent the train. Alright. It has to be transparent though. We should have done it as a layer. But you get what I mean. That would be in orbit going right around the planet. Oh, I think I got it filled in, have I? There you go. So the train of the Starlink satellites will be going around horizontal like that. And probably some go in the other direction too, I don't know. I don't know how they've set it up. I think they might have 2 trains or 3 trains. So it covers the whole planet and they can talk to each other. Yeah, so yeah, as you can see it gets complicated, but now you can see why it's not a flat Earth. And of course eventually that sun will go around and it'll come up and east again, right? So it goes around the Earth, comes up this side, and then it starts lighting up the east coast of America, goes across to California, and then it falls into darkness again. Just repeats the cycle of day and night, right? Makes perfect sense. It's good when you understand science and all that. From our perspective, yeah, right. I try to. I teach it how I learnt it, how I could understand it, wrap it around your head. And of course, you know that one where they're talking about the Klingon warship flew behind, below the SpaceX one. You remember that one we did? Robert and I did it. Yeah. Anyway, you can see here that the International Space Station. I probably need to clean up the diagram a bit. This is where undo comes in handy. Right. You might remember that little triangle ship, the end of a triangle. Why is it not letting me select it? No, that will do. Remember there was a group of bright lights outside. I need to fill it in. That passed the SpaceX thing. We had a little... Well, if you imagine that being city lights, right, down there. And the Earth is slowly turning that direction at... how fast is it? 1,000 miles per hour. So we're moving at 1,000 miles per hour at the moment. So that's going around that direction there. Anti-clockwise at 1,000 miles per hour. Even though it doesn't feel like we're going fast. And the SpaceX capsule was up and heading towards the International Space Station. Which is up here. Let's see if we've got a space station. Oh, here's the SpaceX. Little rocket. Okay, and that was heading up to the International Space Station. We assume that's the International Space Station up here. And you can see this thing here is rotating towards them because it's going around that direction. But because the space station is orbiting at 17,000 miles per hour, that circle goes around the Earth once every 90 minutes. So this is actually up at International Space Station level, traveling faster than the Earth is spinning. So these are spinning around also in the same direction. Oh, I don't want to draw that. These are going around the same direction, but they're going around at a greater speed. So this will look like it's actually moving away from them. So if you've got the camera looking downwards this direction, going this way, and this is rotating slowly, but they're rotating further that direction, that looks like it's moving away from them. And you can see here on that video of the Klingon warship, as they called it, was moving away. It actually was city lights through cloud cover. You know, the one that they talked about. Let's see if I can bring it up. I know it's off sidetrack here, but it's inside the diagram. I thought I'd go over it again. What do you call it? Klingon UFO. I don't know, SpaceX. See if it comes up. See if we can find a picture of it. Probably not got the right keywords in, I don't think. Maybe UFO. King on. Maybe if I spelled it right. Klingon. Still not coming up. What else can we try? UFO. Here's SpaceX train. Where's the one with the city lights? Is that it? No. I think Rob remembers that. That's when the Blake Cousins come on and trolled us, and he ended up blocking them. Yeah, not sure what keywords to try to find it. Some call it the Klingon, but There's going to be a lot of SpaceX UFOs though. But you have to type in third phase or something like that to try and get it. SpaceX UFO triangle maybe. Once I bring it up, you'll know what I mean. Which one I'm talking about. Here it is. That one there. That was city lights below on Africa or South America. I can't remember now. But that gradually moves that direction on the video, if you remember right. And everybody was saying it's a UFO. And of course, this is the SpaceX here. Here's the lights here. So when you don't zoom in, it gives you a better scale. So that's lights, city lights on the planet, and that gradually moves off in that direction there. And they got it plotted there. But you got to remember when you look at the diagram why that's so. Because this is SpaceX capsule, and the International Space Station that it's heading towards is moving anti-clockwise at a greater speed, so it looks like these lights on the ground are passing them by. So you got to imagine it, I suppose. If you're on that ship there, you would actually be going around the corner here, so that ship would end up over here. Looks like the lights have now passed them. Does that make sense?
Yes,
and I don't know if anyone's ever explained it like I have, but so this has travelled a greater distance in that time, and these lights have gradually disappeared, and they're filming it from that camera angle up there, right? Which you'd have to box a camera. I don't know if we've got a camera. Okay, so the camera. Oh, okay. The camera is looking that way. And it looks like these lights are going away, but it's actually because these objects are moving away faster than the lights are moving towards them. So it looks like it's going the opposite direction. And you can see white city lights now. Anyway, enough of that. I've debunked 2 in one go there. Again.
Yep.
Okay.
You make a good class teacher, you would.
Well, I did do tutoring at university. I explained everything, how to do some stuff really easily, like binary, adding up binary and stuff like that, because they had to do it for exams. And I said, here's the easy way. You just do this, do this, do this, and everybody got it. But, yeah, so we ain't quite finished with his one day. We couldn't plug it into Plane Finder, just to verify it couldn't have been a plane. Also happened to be in the same location, because, you know, like I talk about multiple events, you got to exclude everything. So it could have been a low flying plane, could have been possibly even a drone with LED lights on it, or it could have been a lead balloon even. We can't rule that out completely. You know what I mean? So we can say we're 90% sure it's that GPS satellite that's being amplified on the scope compared to the
space station.
It's not the International Space Station. He's correct this time, but that was a good guess, because everybody else that I showed it to, there's the cameraman experts, they all said it looked like the International Space Station to them, and I said, yeah, no, it's not. But if we have a look at his video again and have a look at the metadata, that's quite interesting, which makes it more complicated. Oh, not properties, I want send to. Where's send to? Send to exit if. It should be coming up. Okay, so because it's a video file, it hasn't taken any photographs. Remember, I always say if you're going to do a video, if you're going to be a sky watcher, always take a couple of snapshots at this roughly at the same time, even if it's after the event. It also daylight snaps of where you're standing also is helpful, because it stores the metadata at the time of the incident which is missing here on the video. Videos don't always store it. So, but we can go all here and we can actually look at the creation dates of the file. So when I downloaded it, it created it on the 20th of the 9th. But we know that it was filmed in 2019, so we've got to keep looking for other dates in the metadata. And then we got a QuickTime metadata in the video itself. And here we go. 2019, 06, which is June. Oh, hang on. It says it's the 22nd, not the 12th of June. And it's filmed, done at 2019, which is, what's that, 8 o'clock at night? So how come the timestamp doesn't match what he put in MUFON? MUFON, he said the 12th of June, 1 o'clock, right? So if we go back, have a look at the submission. And so I had to figure out what's the Apple doing, changing the timestamps. And I read here, where is it? Here, no. Oh, we don't need that opening now. That's slowing us down. I read here about this question here. How to keep the creation date when dropping video out of photos. When I drag my video out of photos to a folder on my desktop, the creation date changes to the current date and time. How do I get it to keep the proper creation date? Don't drag the video from the browser. Select the video and use File Export Original. This is on the Macintosh, I guess, or iPad. When you drag a thumbnail to the desktop, it will export a new preview file, and that will have a different creation date. If you export the original, it will keep the creation date. So that's what the guy did wrong, I guess. But it gets a bit more complicated. Have a look at the file name of it. What's it say? DNVM00105. That sounds like a video random number, doesn't it? And it's got slow motion. Slow-mo trim. So what's slow-mo trim mean? It's the name of the application he used, which can slow it down and trim it, right? Can zoom in, apparently, when he then saves it to the desktop. So I asked him, did you modify it anyway? He reckons not. So he's probably used the slow-mo trim software to export it, and it's changed the file date on it. So it's like 10 days later, he downloads it off the camera, right? So he filmed it on the 12th of June. 22nd of June is when he saved it onto computer and uploaded it to MUFON. So yeah, we can't use the metadata because it's as a way to check because of that, the way he copied it. So I'm not too sure if we can find anything about slow motion trim. Look, I have this article here, discussions on Apple creation date. I haven't got an Apple, so I can't try it. Date. Friends. I can close that down now. So I told you it's going to be a learning exercise tonight, didn't I? We've still got some more to go yet. And we've only done it in 2 hours, so it's not too bad. So we've now solved that one, I think. So slow-mo trim. What the hell is it? Oh, I've missed out a letter there. Slow-mo trim. What is it? Well, lots of other videos uploaded to YouTube have got slow-mo trim in the name. So obviously it's done on Macintosh, isn't it? Apple. Let's see what that comes up with. Testing slow-mo trim XR200 converted. How to slow motion videos on any Android phone. It says Apple here though. See, it says Apple. Must include slow trim. Let's see. It's not coming up with anything. Sounds like an app to me. Slow mode trim. But I couldn't find anything on it. But people out there that knows more about it, me, or use Apple's, me, know more about it. Camera. Maybe it needs a space in between. Oh, here we go. DJ, it's got similar letter numbers, isn't it? Switch camera. Maybe it's part of the firmware on the camera that transports it, exports it, maybe. Boomerang maker. I can't see slow-mo trim in that one. So it looks like file names with it, but what's the application then? So this sort of got me beat on that. So at least we know the creation date. The metadata is no good to us because it's when he downloaded it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. If someone finds out more on slow-mo trim, let me know. We can always update it. Yeah. We won't waste too much time on it. What was the other bits? So he didn't say any of the information that we needed in the original video that we've discovered tonight to analyze it properly. So how can he expect the so-called Dream Team experts to analyze his video if he hasn't provided them with all the information, the date and time, especially? You know, anyone can look at that footage and say, oh, it looks really good, or yeah, it could be a satellite. You know, that's basically what we said. We said it looks like an International Space Station is gradually flying overhead. But at least we know GPS satellite can be as bright as an International Space Station. They've got big solar panels on the side. Whether that's what he saw, it's sort of hard to dismiss it because it's right overhead where he is, and it's slowly moving in the right direction. It's hard to discount it. That's not that he's filming. So that's the best I can do with that one, really. But like I said, it could easily have been an LED balloon, but then it seemed like it was going too straight directory. You know, it wasn't sort of moving left and right, bobbing up and down and stuff. So it sort of rules that it could be a big balloon, LED balloon. Planes, it's possible it could be a plane where we're not seeing any strobe lights happening because it's on infrared. So if we had like another side-by-side camera of normal low light, we might be able to analyze it a bit more. Are you still there? I heard a click sound.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, I'm not sure what the click sound was. But you might remember this case here. I'll just open up to full screen. You might remember the International Space Station or Mystery Orb, you know, and of course that looks very much like his video, right? That's what the International Space Station looks like on green screen. That was also filmed up in Canada. It's got the same altitude here, going above the trees. Looks identical to his video. And of course this guy here talks about it. British Columbia, it's in the same location almost, look. So it kind of almost looks like the International Space Station, but it's a bit of a shame it didn't actually come up on our map, because it would have been good if it was the International Space Station. That's why I said I've seen it before. The video surfaced August the 3rd when the Coast to Coast AM article declared a mystifying orb. According to MUFON UFO report filed by the witness, we were just east of Squamish, Canada. It makes you wonder if it is the International Space Station or GPS satellite now, doesn't it? I was going to bring it up on the map. But I got it closed down now.
Confusing, isn't it, when they don't give you the right timescales?
What was the place? I wonder how close it is to where he was. So we knew he was down below Calgary. Let's see. To Squash something rather, wasn't it? I can't. What's it called now? Squamish. Or why is it not coming up then? Squamish or Scramish?
Squamish.
SQUA. Let's just cut and paste it. We'll get it right then. Probably doesn't even know where it is, probably. See, it's not coming up. So I can see there. See. Why is it not coming up? BC maybe. No. Canada.
SQUA.
Yeah, that's what I got.
SQUAMISH.
Oh, here we go.
Okay,
we got Crescent, so we're on the top one. Okay, so how far away was it from his location? On the other side of the mountain. So, well, actually, it wasn't actually, was it? Where was he located here? He was located down here. That's not too far away from his location, right? And they're seeing the same thing. So I reckon you could easily test this by looking it up on the map data, right? And seeing when the next time that satellite passes over, and go outside and film and see if you can see it exactly move the same way. That would sort of prove it 100%, right? And also wait for the International Space Station to fly overhead and see how good comparison that is. But actually have multiple camera setups so you can see what it looks like with naked eye. Various full spectrum, maybe infrared and all that sort of stuff. So this satellite was definitely moving over this direction here in that time range that he was looking at. It was moving over here through the Rockies, right? I reckon it's got to be that. But anyway, I could be wrong still. So let's go back to that article. So what they're saying here, granite monolith, the second biggest in the world. We went there because, in speaking with local earlier that day, they said orbs have been spotted in the past over near the mountain. So they're probably seeing the International Space Station fly over, right? And GPS satellites. We had driven around the whole thing because of the angle there, of that curvature of the Earth at that point there. With the right angle of the sun through Asia, you're going to get more flaring happening. So it's going to be more visible to the eyes, you know.
Nice clear skies, they'd have a good vision of it, wouldn't
they? Yeah, definitely. So they'd see it regularly, and it'd be there same time, length of time, 1 minute or 2 minutes, you know, and it's gone. Roughly in the same area of the sky, or moved over slightly, or back this way a wee bit. So yeah, they started plotting where the International Space Station was, and that's their location in the middle. And you can see it passes right in front of them at that particular time. And Scott Brando looked this one up. Object is an international space station. A day later announced on his Twitter account. At the time, I felt that Scott had a valid argument and mentioned it in Sunlight 9-5. However, those that recorded the object disagreed and began, Darren, and began a campaign to sell the idea to their followers that the International Space Station was an impossible explanation because they think it's too low down because of the angle of the orbit, and the angle of the Earth at that point. It's going to be low down in the horizon, of course. It seems that UFO videographers rarely, if ever, accept explanations for their UFO videos once they had promoted them as something that was not mundane. Rob Freeman responded to Brando and stated that top experts at MUFON were going to evaluate the film. He also argued that the orb was not behind the mountains but had disappeared into the trees, a bit like we saw in the other footage, right? And rebuttal really did not have any teeth because when the ISS is bright, it can illuminate the surrounding area of the sky. The application of the light by the night vision equipment can make it appear that the trees were being illuminated by the orb. So let's go back to the picture. Kind of does look like it's being illuminated. One of the things that struck me as odd as how Freeman had determined using two different applications that the International Space Station had begun transversing the sky at the different time than Scott Brando had done. Well, this is where if you stuff up the UTT sign, universal time, if you get that wrong, it's going to be all out, right? So you got to make sure that's right. So I don't know if he's done that wrong. Attempted to debunk the video, which he acquired the Stellium, showed that the ISS in the vicinity of 2259 and not 2242. Well, as you know, 3 minutes and the International Space Station's gone. It's passed over. Mentioned by one of the tracks was wrong, but which were rebuttal debunked. It's not hard to determine which track was wrong, and most satellite observers could easily explain the difference. When Freeman was using his applications, it was September the 10th. Any application running on the phone or computer would use the two-line elements, TLEs, that were applicable on that date. The TLEs for satellites vary due to atmospheric drag. So this is where it gets a bit more complicated. So that might be why our one may be slightly out too. Every so often, the space station has to boost its orbit to compensate for this. Right. So that means it's dragging on the space station, gradually pulling it down to Earth again. So they've got to go upwards again. So they're changing, a few meters difference. This also changes the TLEs. Therefore, Freeman's track was probably wrong because the applications he was using were set for September 10 TLE. Brando's track, which was computed using TLEs on August the 4th, would probably have been much closer to the actual track. So it can be quite a few 100 miles out then, by how high up in orbit the space station is when they adjust it. So something else we got to watch out for, I guess, is atmospheric drag, as they call it, TLEs. So what's he saying here? Let's get complicated. Okay, that's the viewpoint in the daytime, which is also good to have. So, yeah. Here we go, and here's the picture again. Going into lots of detail there. This bright star the orb initially passed near was Lambda Aquarii, so it looks like a star system, so they're trying to match up the stars. So it's getting a bit more complicated now to prove something, right? The ASUF and elevation at... So I'm not sure what that word means there. What's that mean? Okay. This isn't going to be easy. So what does it mean? It's the angle between the celestial body, sun, moon, and the north, measured clockwise around the observer's horizon. So it's something to do with this this line here, I guess. So you can see you need a degree in this stuff. You need to be. This is why you got to ask of experts that do this stargazing stuff for a living or whatever. That's not us. We're not the experts on everything. But we can use the applications like they can, sort of get a rough idea. So that track we saw, where it's sort of passing over them, might even be slightly out then. Because wouldn't GPS satellites also have adjustments in orbit? I know they've got to correct the time. Let's see. Do GPS satellites also have to adjust? GPS satellites. Just add just trying to type on the side here. Orbit. Let's see. Between 20,000 kilometers, that was 20,000 kilometers from the ground. It has an orbital speed, but do they adjust it? Does it come down? What can we say? Again, I'm not too sure. Just orbit correction. GPS satellite time correction, no. GPS satellites geosynchronous. Okay. 20 orbital speed of 14,000 kilometers, so it's not quite as fast as the International Space Station. Satellites are not GPS satellites are not geosynchronous or geostationary. Well, it's getting a bit more complicated now, isn't it?
Slightly.
So that means they've got to be moving slightly out of alignment then. What else can we type in to find out? Height correction, maybe? Orbit correction. Does sound like it does. It's like the International Space Station has. Not in geosynchronous orbits. Okay, so what are they? Well, I suppose it's not going to tell us quite easily, is it? And they're going to kick in relativity in here, which I believe is nonsense. I think because the satellite's passing through the Earth's magnetic field, it's going to mess with the vibrations of the atomic clock, and of course the time's going to go out of sync. But they're saying it's because space is bent. Navstar, GPS. Let's see what else they're saying here. I think they got some sort of like electric motor inside, like a gyroscope they spin around, and then they stop it, and it gradually causes a force to go the direction that they want to move the satellite to correct the orbit. I think that's how they do it. They don't use a thruster. So if you can imagine spinning a roller skate wheel and then touching it, you're going to have a force that sort of makes it move forward that direction of the wheel. I think that's how they do it. And of course they use the solar cells to drive electric motor, right? But yeah, where's the thing about the orbit? How they correct it. I'm pretty sure they correct it. Anyway, we won't worry about it too much. It's amazing that Mr. Freeman and his associates, which are meant to be experts, could not figure out this. They proclaim themselves to be experts on things visible at night. But I don't pretend to be an expert on all things visible at night. This is why I look up things like this. But this demonstrates they are far from it. One of the first things one does is plot an object's path across the sky. Yep. Once that plot is complete, others can evaluate what has been seen if they cannot identify it. Instead, they did not bother to figure out the amethyst and the elevation until over a month later. So that's where they went wrong. They had an impressive camera array here, but they didn't have a smartphone with the app on it. Where's the smartphone with the app? I can't see it. I can't see any smartphone there. Maybe it's down here. Is that a smartphone app there? Oh no, was it another camera? So how many cameras they got on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is it? 6, 7? That's just crazy. There's the display for the top ones. One down here, one down there. And they still couldn't figure out what was the space station. And when a simple smartphone, if they just hold it up to the sky at that time, probably would have told them. As long as they had good signal, of course. That's the problem, of course. If you're in the mountains there, you might not have any signal. Which means you got to use a laptop with the software on it already pre-programmed for that time. So yeah. So we spent probably a good hour and a half on his video there. And it looks very much like that one. If you want to read up on that blog post there, you can. There's a video of it somewhere, but I think it might be copyrighted still. Hey, Charles is there. Shelley, I can't alter my voice in any way. So what's wrong with your voice? Your accent, you don't like your accent?
I say I got a great voice. It's just not clear.
Yeah, I think it's, if you get a better... I think once we get you on a better microphone, you'll sound clearer. Yeah. We tried to lower the bass down or the echo, but it's not really that good.
I think I need one of those gaming headphones with the microphone.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got a USB one, so it's all digital, so you don't get no noise.
I have to invest in one of them then, I think, won't I?
Does it work on a Chromebook? I don't know.
Sure do.
You don't check the fine print. Not all of the USB ones will work.
I'll have a word with the daughter. She'll find out for me. No.
Yeah. My one only cost $30 US, I think, from China. So I've done this breakdown with someone else's video, you might remember, on this one here, which I'll post a link to if you want to, if you haven't watched it. If you're new to the channel, this is another case I did in Spain. Another Spain International Space Station case, where he thought it was a white orb UFO traveling in the sky. And if you watch this one here, I break it down in the same way. But I also put it through the editor to try and to see if we can see a particular shape on it.
Yes, we're going to be looking at International Space Station. So
I think I run it through the editor and turned the dot into a sort of a long square, because as you know, it's quite a long shape to it. So there's his little dot in the sky. You can see here, this is the International Space Station on his smartphone. No infrared. You can see how stretched out it is, right? Whether that could be part of long exposure, it's hard to know. But as we know, the International Space Station is actually quite long and cause a bigger reflection. But yeah, you can't really. You can see here all these solar panels reflecting down. It's going to create a longer blob in the sky, which you might be able to dim down and actually see that there's actually a longer shape to it. And I tried to compare it to the solar panels here. You can see here, actually, this one actually did have a dip in the middle. Because let's see. There you go. You can see it's got a dip in the middle here, which kind of looks like the structure here, and it's two bright ends on it. So I thought, oh yeah,
it all depends on the direction and the panels are facing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so I thought, well, could it really be the International Space Station? And then I plugged it into the software, just like we did tonight. And got a path plotted for it. So what was that one? Looking from the horizon. I didn't look at those other options. Where's the International Space Station on that?
3G data on the phone. It takes a wee while for it to update.
Oh, right, I'm talking about using the phone app there. Here's the track for it over Spain. Where's Spain here? So where's the International Space Station? It should be in this region here. Can't quite see it. I think it's underneath all those labels. But yeah, it was actually in the sky passing over that particular time for his one.
Pattern happening where it goes into an arc. So we want it to be. Oh yeah, we'll have to work out the time zone difference.
Alright, I haven't plugged it in yet, that's why we can't see it. Let's move on a bit.
And that also gives us. Yeah, Google's not the best at searching.
I've gone past it now.
It looks for anything that's got my in this topic, my sighting maybe.
I must have missed it.
So satellites, planets, sats, ISS, tracker.
I don't think I've got it up yet. It's there on the video anyway, if you've not watched it.
So anyone that's like a backyard guy probably knows how to use this a lot better than I do. And
GPS satellites, so you can see those ones are showing.
Make it a lot easier because you can just aim it at the sky. And I did that with one of my videos here.
I must have a breakdown of it here somewhere.
Use now.
Right, I was looking at Plane Finder as well. I must have missed it. But that does end up being the International Space Station over top. So if you watch that video, you'll see another breakdown of the guy's video. Where was he playing it though? At the front. Anyway, better not drag it out too much. Yeah, you can watch that tomorrow if you want. Here it is here.
Up here.
There's a little dot on his one though, without infrared camera.
So
can't quite see it. It's up there.
Yeah, it looks legit there. I don't know if he had any.
I thought maybe it was lens flare. You can see all the lights he's got there.
Let's have a look. Looks like it's the day after. See, screen snap's not good.
Anyway, we won't go over at that. You got the link there if you want to go and watch that episode. And it's better detailed than I've skimmed it there. Oh, what I just closed down. I closed the wrong one, did I? What did I close down? Well, third phase. We'll go back to that in a minute. We're finished with that. And now we're on to... We're finished with that one too. This is the new guy that's taken over from Jan Hassan. What was his name? Meet MUFON's director, Dave P. McDonald. Now, this is the guy that has a business of being a pilot. The Mile High Club, as they call it. Where couples can hire his plane, little 20-seater jet, you know, a Learjet or whatever it is. And they have sex while he's flying the plane around. That's how he makes his money. So now they've got this guy, head of MUFON of all things. And they're trying to introduce him on here.
Welcome to MUFON. I'm Dave MacDonald, your executive director, currently and in the past.
So one thing I noticed how grotty his teeth are there. So I think he needs to maybe go to see a whitening specialist, because now he's going to have to be a public figure. Everyone's going to notice his what is it, coffee, tea, or maybe nicotine stained teeth. So obviously he hasn't got false teeth, right, which is a good thing. But he needs to get them cleaned, I think. Needs to get them whitened.
We'd like to welcome you aboard. I've got involved in MUFON going back to the early 2000s. I had always been interested in the UFO phenomenon, and I was just, you know, surfing the net, looking for UFO cases, looking for UFO studies, and I literally stumbled upon MUFON. And I thought, well, this sounds like the greatest organization.
But you think a pilot would have his own UFO sightings, wouldn't you?
In the world, and I joined that night and rose up through the ranks, and here I am today. MUFON was established in 1969. It was established as a result of the closing of Project Blue Book, and the thought was, well, there's an awful lot of flying saucer activity. We need to be investigating it. It started very small. Today, we have 1 million subscribers. We have 4,200 members. We have 600 investigators in
600 investigators in 48 countries. Could you imagine that? And none of them getting paid. Only these guys up in HQ are getting paid. And yet they do all the hard work. So this guy's not had his own UFO sighting by the sounds of it then. So why did they pick him?
How many UFOs have they found?
Yeah, you'd want someone that was a UFO hunter or seen them, and looks like they've chosen someone that's been in MUFON a long time rather than someone that's actually got experience, you know. I don't know if he, obviously he said he's moved up the ranks, so he must have been an investigator at some stage, right?
Countries. We have expanded to this point, and we are still rocking.
So they're trying to build the image up again. MUFON network there. How are we going for time? We've only got 20 minutes left, but that's alright. We've got enough time to finish off. So yeah, the videos haven't been too great on MUFON. We've got these strange UFO cases that I've talked about in the past, where they had some sort of drunk guy walking around with his camera talking to aliens in his head, which turned out to be Christmas lights hanging on a tree. Well, anyway.
Just don't help the reputation of them, does it?
No. I'm not putting up junk like that. So, Third Phase put up another video, so let's have a look at that just to close off tonight. I'm not sure how many people we had watching, probably not many. Was it 5? That's why people don't learn. If they watch my stuff, they understand why the Earth is a globe and how satellites move around and reflect the sun when we're in darkness. Because it's all to do with angles and stuff, you know, altitude. So what have I got here? Oh, there was another video at the end of this one too, which we might have to look at. So let me just go back to it. It might have been something we missed.
Interesting to me. Obviously, I think it's an airship. Get to the source of these, so I'm sure once we post this up, we're going to get a lot of information coming in, and that's why we do this. We want to find out what's going on around the world, and then kind of follow up.
Come on, they do it because they want to make money, right? They're not doing it to 100%. Investigate. They're not doing it for truth seeking.
Is this some sort of stunt? Could these?
I believe whatever these beings are, they're actually out there. They're not like put in via Photoshop.
All right, that's what we're looking at.
To be actually in place.
Could that be somebody in a?
That looks like a kid in a costume, doesn't it?
Yep.
You know, I just zoomed in by pure chance here, but it looks like someone that's got the sleeves rolled up there. All right, on a jumpsuit and some white sneakers. And could it be a latex thing with the throat that goes around? Yep. Could easily be a kid. Yeah, the latex would go down to the bottom of the neck, which you can't see because the collar of the jumpsuit hides it. So let's have a look.
Oh. Costume, look at that.
Absolutely, I think so. But he does have more stories of his encounter where apparently he's like, I don't know. We need to find out more. But here's outside of his vehicle. Appears to me that he states that these beings were trying to, open this lever, or I don't know, get into his vehicle.
It means a lever.
There's like some footprints that are surrounding the area outside his vehicle. We're gonna pull up those photographs, and here's one of them.
So why is there no video then?
It could be easily made. Definitely, could it be a hoax? What we're looking at here, but look at the features. They're definitely some strange characteristics.
You got 3 toes. It looks like you got one long toe, and then these 2 side toes to support the feet. But again, anybody could go in there, etch it with their hands, and then easily create these footprint. But
Bigfoot.
He sees. I guess there's some investigation, and there's a series of footprints that seem to come and go from the area, and there's no other, human footprints around it. So that's kind of interesting. But
so if he filmed this, why is he not sent it to MUFON? Why is he sent it to Third Phase of the Moon, I wonder?
This photograph from within the car and looking out through the...
Oh, come on. That looks like a kid in a latex thing there. Or maybe one of those doll heads, right?
Yeah.
That even looks like the eye sunken in there. It's not like a black lid eye, is it? Like normal aliens.
Glass. That's kind of hard to do.
What's that over here?
Photoshop, I would imagine. So, who knows? Are these authentic photographs? Did this transporter in Brazil have the most terrifying experience of his life?
It's for Brazil, the hoaxing capital.
These images are kind of terrifying. What do you make of this, Brandon?
Terrifying.
Is this real or is this fake?
Yeah, most descriptions of these alien beings have larger heads and very skinny bodies.
Why is it blurred?
These are almost proportionate to a human.
Look, it looks like it's got... Look, ankles, look. It's a grey jumpsuit and someone's got bare ankles there and white tennis shoes. And look, it's artificially been blurred there, isn't it? Let's look at it. Of course it's fake. It's been through Photoshop.
Size. So could it be somebody in a costume?
Ugh.
That's the question. But if it is real, we're looking at really good evidence right here.
Absolutely. You know, maybe aliens come in all shapes and sizes. You never know. Like you said, Brent, they did kind of match the regular form of a human body.
Anyway, that was the other film. I knew there was another one that we missed. Why is it gone so big? Hang on, are we in? Alright, I got it expanded here. Now what's going on? What's going on? Where have I lost the edge? Alright, you gotta do that. Oh, wasn't it? Oh, right, the toolbar vanished there. Did you see that? Okay. That makes more sense. Okay, I don't think there was any more on that video. That one definitely looked like a hoax. They're still talking about it. What's this one?
Like I said, a 10% acidity, but these clouds are at 90% acid, pretty much.
Okay, they're talking about Venus.
Phosphine to appear means that life can thrive in even the most hostile environments. That's why it's very hard for us to focus on sending anything to Venus, because really can't.
It's all speculation there, though. We got to go and test it out for sure, right? Send a probe there, get some samples. So that'll be the next stage. Where's the videos disappeared to? Alright, here it comes. Okay, so this is the latest one they put up. Give it a downvote there, because I know it's going to be crap.
Welcome back. Blake Cousins here, Third Phase Moon. We've got a special report. Incredible sightings coming in from around the world, and we speak with director James Fox in his explosive documentary. It's being hailed as one of the most credible examinations
the movie,
of a long-standing
the
cover-up
phenomenon,
and a global mystery involving unidentified aerial phenomenon. But before we get to that, let me share you with this video.
Is James Fox actually going on Third Face to promote his movie? Because that's a no-no. Right? It's a no-no in our book, anyway. You should never be promoting using fraud channels.
Video that has just come into me via my Facebook. His name is Dean Krillin, and he sent me this video from England, and he doesn't have any idea what it is. Let's just roll it, and we also have his video.
Are you ready? Those in the UK? Let's have a look. Oh no, not the windmills.
I know what it is.
A fake.
Moving like a kite.
You know what? You've seen it already, have you?
Yep, I've seen it. It's what I call what they use the fishing kite.
What's that strange noise?
Just swaying like straight side. It's on like that they use on 2 lines. You can control the kite with. Like it's swinging.
Oh, look how far away he's zooming in. Oh, it's way out to sea. The wind farm. They've got it out to sea here. That's a clever idea.
Won't be that deep out there, will it?
They should do that every country, I reckon. Ah, yeah, it's a fishing kite, isn't it?
I reached out to Dean and I said, you got to film yourself and I want to get your testimony explaining to us what happened. And Dean obliged us. Here it is.
I think it looked like an eagle.
Right there, Brett,
as well,
Blake, Third Phase of Moon. Yeah, the video that I took, it was Sunday the 13th of September. It was in England on the Isle of Sheppey. I was out with my family walking the dogs. It was about 8:30. Just sitting on the rocks watching the kids play and that, and then I'm always looking up in the sky. I see some strange stuff but never been able to catch anything. I was just looking out at the wind turbines and see like this little
that's
black
where
dot
I get my accent from, Mum. She says think, and I pick it up.
And or like you say, the first thing you do, you're trying to debunk it yourself. Like, is it a drone? didn't look like any drone.
Well, why is the fishing kite right near the wind turbines? Did they lose control of it or something?
But then, if you look how far out, you couldn't see anyone out there. Like, I mean, it's in the middle of the ocean.
They're on the other side of the turbines, aren't they?
I thought perhaps it got caught up in the turbine or something.
It looked like it went
started off on the
away
right,
from
down,
I think
down,
no, it looks like it's actually near the blades there.
It looks like a kite, but then it started
you
moving
wouldn't see a
towards the
little
left,
fishing
and
boat,
it was
wouldn't you?
like
Little tiny
it was going along
windy boat type
checking
thing.
all the turbines out.
I think they let it out too
Sometimes
far
it'd
there and it got in the way of the
And
turbine.
it come back. But yeah, this
But
was,
it's definitely
30
a
to 40
fishing
minutes,
kite.
This thing was buzzing
We need to
about.
zoom up on it.
I mean,
it's under control. Somebody's literally controlling it.
Work out what it is. That's why I sent it to you. See if it's
There we go. We got a close up of it. You know, fishing kites are really strange looking. They're like umbrellas, aren't they?
At it closer, you see these cells on it, but we're not seeing. Again, it's very bizarre. Underneath,
where's the string?
Where is the string? What? Who's?
It looks like a double wing thing, doesn't it? Normally they have a balloon as well. They don't have like a balloon as well, don't they? They have a balloon that lifts it up and the kite drags it out behind the boat or whatever.
Piloting this thing, or basically who's holding the.
But can we actually match that with an image at all? Fishing kite. Most of them are kind of square looking. I haven't seen one like that though, but it kind of looks like a kite that's out of control there. Fishing kite. Well, even the guy said he thought it was a kite. Okay, so we got one that's triangular shape. Triangle shape. Then you got the square one here. Square ones. That's a strange looking thing, isn't it? So that's a strange one. What's that one there? Another one. Kind of looks like a t-shirt top, doesn't it? Makes you wonder how they work. Another one there. Looks like a square. And then you got these ones here. It looks like more like what we've seen in the video. A curved umbrella type shape. And then you got these ones with the balloon. As well as the kite. So could we be looking at that? And the balloons popped or something. Let's see. It does look like it's got two flaps there though, doesn't it? Can't see any balloon there. So yeah, I don't know how that works. Maybe it's someone's experimental kite gone wrong. So what's that one guy got there? Oh yeah, square balloon again with the helium balloon. There's no square one with two panels that suck inwards. Seems to fly alright, doesn't it? The square ones.
That's what I said, it looks like it's under control.
There's another triangle shaped one. But I can't see any that's in that picture. There's fish kites, so maybe it's just a regular kite then. The triangle ones are most common. And then you got these ones that actually look like fish. But none that looks like two umbrellas. Yeah, it's certainly something I haven't seen before. It's all pretty much the same, isn't it? Here's one. more colourful and flashy. It's a bit like the other square one we were looking, but it's got more side wings on it, and it's got 2 or 3 control cables on it, like you're saying. So that makes more sense, but still not 2 umbrellas joined together.
You see it's under control. You see it's under control with swaying backwards and forwards and sideways and that.
Is this optical illusion that we're seeing here? Could it be a square one that's sort of ripped? Or we're seeing it on the side?
Thank you.
So could it be like it's let's see. Let's
I think that's just the pattern that's on the kite.
Let's grab an image of it and see if we can look at it better. So on this video they say can someone help us figure it out? So they just put it up there. I bet they've called it a UFO or something. Let's have a look at the title. Because they're not honest. They got to have a clickbait title on it. Let's have a look. What just happened over England? Phenomenon 2020. See, that's sort of clickbaity, isn't it? That sounds like something major's happened. Not, can you help us to decide if this is a fishing kite? Or is it some sort of alien drone? I just don't like that channel at all. And they claim to be changed, but they're not. Where is it? Yeah, down here. Hey, let's see what we can do with it. Let's see if we can get a better look at it. 1280. It's really out of focus, isn't it? See if we can sharpen it. Okay. Right. So it looks like it's a 2-tone color here. So if what I'm seeing there looks like some sort of square box, which is what we're seeing with the fishing kites, right? Square box. One hole. Yep. Looks like a square box there. Going that way. And then it looks like it's got 2 wings on it. So it looks like it's got a wing here, which we'd have to draw around it. Looks like it's got a wing connecting in front there, and another wing on the other side. Going around and underneath, right? So we're looking, if we rotated it around, looks like it might be a square in the middle. Like that. And it's got 2 circular bits around the outside. How can we draw that? Circular, circular. Or half circular. I don't know. What can we use for that? That one there. Oh, yeah. What was that called anyway? I forgot to click off it before I changed it. Looks like some sort of half dome. Like that. Okay, it's around the wrong way. Where's the edges of it? So it looks like it's got some domes either side of it to catch the wind. Well, it could be even... where's the handle gone to drag it? Oh, there it is. Looks like it's got one there and another one on the other side. Probably not big enough. Kind of looks like that. It's not quite lined up, but still. That makes sense to you. And then we got some flappy bits on the corner here sticking out. Kind of looks like two triangle bits where it's got the cables on it. Looks like it's got a triangle bit coming out this way. And a triangle bit going the other direction, which you can't quite see. That way. And of course it looks like there's some cables on it controlling it. So straight lines. So it'll probably be like you said, two strings.
Yeah.
One going that direction up to that corner. Up there. And one coming from that one. So is that two balloons on the outside with the wind catcher in the middle? Let's have a look at it again.
I don't think there's any balloons on it.
The string.
See, now it's going downwards. We're still seeing this edge here. Another edge there. We're seeing the square pattern in the middle here.
Out in the middle of the ocean. It's pretty
is it two balloons
bizarre.
on the outside though?
Dean's description, he basically hasn't seen anything like this in the coastline. You would think he'd know what it is, but
yeah, he's a security guard. He's a reputable source. Look at this close up again.
So there's the square bit here. That looks like it's on the corner here. But I'm not too sure if that's at the back of the balloon now, actually. Kind of weird. So that could be not the other corner. Looks like there could be something else sticking out the back here in the middle. It is a weird kite though. But again, we did see some similar pictures here though with the square ones. So that's got a square bit, but it hasn't actually got those round bits. It's got little flappy bits coming down instead. Ah, damn it. So it looks like a square bit here, but it's actually got two round wings on the outside rather than... And it's got cable controls here. And you can see this thing's got a bit sticking out in the middle here. So I reckon on the outside we're seeing that bit here on the back side here on that square bit sticking out, you know, there. Why would it have a bit sticking out that way, I don't know. Maybe to put hooks on it, maybe. Could be. So you control it with these two.
Fishing.
Yeah, that one in the middle could be where they hang the lures on, right? Could be some new crazy design that someone's made, right? Where's my cursor gone? So look, that could be where the hooks are, you know, on that one. And that's the two to move it around the sky. Come on, Robert, you should know which it is. You're in either case, you should be seeing those flying around all the time. There'll be a picture of something similar, I reckon. Somewhere. But it's definitely not a UFO, right? It shouldn't be on a UFO channel. It's interesting. See, that's got a payload coming down here. That's the closest one we've got here, with the side bits sticking around, you know. But it's not the same. I don't know how you'd set. Someone's got a dragon fishing kite here. So it could be something crazy like that, right, as well. Here's one with two wings. What's that one? Classic KAP kites. Can't quite see them though, and they're too small. Well, look how crazy that one is. That's very similar. It's very boxy looking. And this one here with the two cups either side looks like a bird. You just don't know. It's just so many crazy kite designs out there. Oh look, this one actually looks like a fish. That one's a balloon, isn't it? That one's got to be a balloon kite. It's filled up with helium, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But we want one that kind of looks like two umbrellas on either side of it. Maybe someone made it themselves, which is probably what we're looking at, someone's own homemade design. And it didn't quite work too well. So, yeah. I suppose we have to leave it at that, I guess. Here's one. That one there. That looks like it. See how curved these things are? Do you see the curvedness on the outside here?
Yeah.
That sort of matches up with the umbrella design, doesn't it? These are fishing kites. And it's got a triangle bit in the middle. It's going to be something really similar to this one. I think we've nailed it. There's the two curvy bits on the outside that we're seeing. And the square bit with the triangle bit in the middle. There it is there.
And the bait cable.
Yeah, I think we got it. We'll go backwards again. Dismantle it. Oh, going the wrong direction.
Sometimes they have kites and they just have the bait and that just trickling on the water, on top of water. It attracts fish to them, so then they fish from there. They do.
See, I think that's like the square kite. But I think that's just like the square kite we're seeing there in that picture there. So if we could turn it around on the edge, so we're seeing it on the edge here. So wish we could see it on different angles. But if I save that image, yeah. Oh, well, we're coming up to 3 hours now, so it'll be time to wrap up in a minute. And kite, here it is. So really, we want to turn it around. So the edge of that one would be that edge there, and that edge will be this edge here. The triangle bit in the middle, which we're not seeing, is that bit sticking out here. And there's something at the back here as well, which we're not seeing the back of it. I think that's what we're looking at. But obviously slightly different, so it's going to be more like that, probably with a bigger square bit in the middle. Less skinny in the middle. And you got the umbrella bits, which are these curvy bits on the side. So they've got it more curved here, so it's like if we modified that one. Razor. Let's look. Is that the right one? Looks like it's more curved. Unfortunately, I didn't do it right. Looks more curved coming down that way, doesn't it? Curvy bit there, more curvy bit there, right? There's that umbrella shape. And you can see up here, it rotates around. It's a 3-color thing, so it's quite confusing. So, you can see here, if you zoom right up to it, you can see how it curves around, the black bits on the outside. So it's like a two-tone. It's got the red bit. Obviously it's some sort of logo, black, red and yellow. So that's football club or something.
It looked like it's flapping as well, won't it, with the winds going in. Catching the wind. It looks like the outside's flapping.
So it looks like it's a curvy bit going this way. Fortunately, I ain't got the right colour set. I want the curvy bits on. Oh, it is drawing. So it looks like it's a curvy bit coming this way, and we're only seeing that side of it. You know, it's like a cone shape coming up that way. It's curving around, and it's like forming this cone shape that side. And we're looking at this one here coming around this way. And forming a cone shape that side. It's definitely the same type of kite. So I think it's debunked, you know.
Like you said, Robert should be seeing those things.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. I just seen who was out there still watching. But yeah, I think we can solve that one as a fishing kite. Don't save. I suppose we can keep copies of it just as comparison. Stick it in the folder there if we ever want to come back to it. Was there anything else in the video?
Yes, Robert, next time you do.
Have you seen any kite like this?
Yep,
it looks
we just
like a
did.
drone. Actually, I did some study on kites today just to see if I could find this. If this is a kite, its model. And I haven't found one that looks exactly like this. I'm not saying.
So he didn't study. You know, I just spent
That's what I mean, it's a joke.
We spent the last 20 minutes and we found one that's very close to it. You just had to analyze it, zoom in, and work out the dimensions of it.
It could be a kite, but I'm not saying it isn't a kite either.
It moves like a kite, so it's got to be a kite.
You can help us out and find out. Yeah, new high-tech sort of kite hybrid that we haven't seen yet. Absolutely. No. We're finding out about a lot of things, just like last night's video. Everybody thought this was the big mothership over New Jersey, and we found out within minutes that it was a blimp. So we're able to confirm things. So if anybody out there has seen this kite, or if it is a kite, show me a light kind of it, and maybe we'll solve this mystery. I want to appreciate Dean for sharing us his testimony along with these videos. He asked for help.
There's another angle of it there. You can see the square bit in the middle here. And the two curvy wing bits on the outside of it. And it's got a triangle bit in the middle and a triangle bit in the middle there. So what we thought was on the outside was actually probably the control thing is in the middle here. But anyway, it's definitely a fishing kite.
So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to solve mysteries here. And speaking of mysteries...
He can't solve them. We can.
No. Yeah, we just solved
James Fox has been trying to solve the biggest mystery of them all, and he's got an incredible documentary coming out, and we're excited to share with you this interview that we had with him a few months ago, but we're happy to share it with you now. It's going to be...
right, we've seen this before, and we said, oh, James Fox, going to third phase, all people should know better.
Worldwide, digitally available, October...
So where do they sit down and interview him?
And then we go.
Oh, probably copyright on it. Alright, he's got the tic-tac in it.
The government was covering up what happened at Roswell.
Hiding these dark secrets. I was told there wasn't anything.
Oh, God.
This September, we're excited to have the filmmaker behind the amazing production known as The Phenomenon. The director, James Fox, is with us, and we're going to go over the 70 years of history, right up to the fresh discoveries that changed everything as we know it.
And
don't time on these documentaries. You got this.
And it's working.
So he's only on phone with him.
Podesta and
other people that worked in the government that are basically stating that there's something out there that we don't know, and you're doing a great job uncovering it. I can't wait for the people to watch this incredible documentary. One of my favorite parts is when you go to Zimbabwe and meet with the kids that had this incredible sighting that just shocked the whole school, where flying
Come on, Blake, let the guys talk.
Visited them on the school grounds. What did you make of that when you went to visit these kids years later? You see it in their eyes. Something.
If we can get a word in, we might be able to tell you.
Let me back up on that one, because I remember hearing about it in the 90s when I was working on my first documentary, UFOs 50 Years of Denial. And I was just naive enough at the time to think that I could get an interview with Steven Spielberg. And we had a mutual friend, this woman, Janet Yang. And she's like, yeah, he's not going to meet with you. But he does want you to know that there was a pretty compelling landing case that took place in Africa. And I thought, yeah, right. I didn't even look into it 1 second further. I just completely walked away from just dismissed it immediately, because I said to myself, there's no way that there could be a landing and occupants getting out in broad daylight with over 100 witnesses and for the whole world not to have heard about it. So I just wrote it right off. And I think it was about 10 years before I even looked into it again. And now I'm absolutely convinced, as is anyone else that looks at the evidence, that it actually happened. And going to the actual landing site, and funny enough, like, I've had like 5 or 6 different executive producers on this project, as is with most films I've made. And I remember the first guy, I was trying to convince him into, flying all these witnesses in and bringing them together for the first time in 20 years. And he's going, you mean to tell me that a flying saucer landed and the occupants bullshit? I said, no, just hold on a second. Look at this compelling film footage back in the 90s of the children. Look, please. So it's been an uphill battle the whole way. And going to Africa and going to the landing site and meeting additional witnesses there and talking to the headmistress, who at the time was a teacher, Judy Bates. It's a slam dunk. That case is absolutely phenomenal.
It's a wee bit too late, though, because there was another documentary that Martin Willis was showing on his show. Another documentary called Ariel. Remember that? And they've already done interviews with all these people. So they've beaten James Fox to the mark there. So what's this movie? It's just going to be what everybody's already heard, already rehacked again. I hope it's going to have something different than just the school kids in it.
Phenomenal.
It brought back the memories of, I remember the story.
So yeah, looks like he did go on Third Face for an interview. Tut tut. See, that's the power of money. You want to sell as many copies as you can. 100,000, $10 profit. So what's that? $1 million.
Third Phase paid him to come on. And make that channel look a bit more better.
Really? Do you think he would have got paid to come on interview? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, he's only got him on the phone, hasn't he?
Oh, this one's quite funny here too. They're also Egyptian experts, by the way. GUFON's an Egyptian expert on Anunnaki and all that. So this is hilarious. So this one.
Elongated head, almond-shaped eyes. There was a lot of things different about Akhenaten, and he may have come from another planet.
Egyptians.
A research team did 2 DNA samples from Akhenaten. Actually, one was taken from his brain tissue, and they had a conclusive result. Then they did a second test and extracted tissue from one of the bones. Then they came up with a conclusive report that Akhenaten's skull was twice as thick as an average human skull.
The guy looks like a freak, doesn't he? You got to remember the royalty, even Egyptian, they inbred, right? So they thought themselves too pure to have, need royal blood. So they ended up with these freaks as kids, double thickness skulls, big long ears. Doesn't look like alien to me. It looks like a human that's sort of a genetic freak, really.
That would cause them to have albino eyes and stuff as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. This has got to be a ton of TTSA in it, you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the James Fox movie, Robert?
Because
Probably.
It might be true.
Could be.
There may be some DNA spliced into us from him. I don't know. But he was unique.
He's saying we got DNA from the Egyptians spliced into us. That's just nonsense.
Very unique. There were the DNA that they took from his bone. It had some DNA healing qualities to it. It's just
DNA
denser
that
in
heals.
the skull, different than any other mummy they found.
So what crap documentary you've been listening to? He's been drinking the Kool-Aid, Mr. GUFON Radio.
His skull was twice as thick, which is unbelievable. That means it's stronger. That means somehow, some way.
Actually, it's not. Aborigines in Australia, their skulls are twice as thick, and you can smash a wine bottle over their heads and they just shake it off. You know, if you did that to a European, they'd just fall on the ground, knocked out, right? So yeah, thickness of skulls is not not.
But the African people have heavier bones as well, heavier bone structure, stronger bones.
Well, yeah, more than likely too. I'm not too sure on that, but I know the Aborigines do in Australia. Because they're getting lots of fights and they can take a lot of wax to the head and shake it off and just walk away. Because they get drunk and they start causing... Yeah, the alcohol that is their problem in Australia. Some of them get onto it and just lose their minds. And of course then they get into fights and all that sort of business as well.
They think that it was the sun, why a lot of...
Listen to this drip. He reckons their skulls are thick because of the sun, because they didn't wear hats.
Egyptians shaved their heads to get their skulls stronger, while Persians wrapped their heads up, you know, and covered their heads from the sun. So they think it's possible that the sun may make your skull stronger.
And this result came out that...
And if you put your head in the sun all day long, you know, you get skin cancer and bone cancer or whatever, you know. So this guy's talking utter crap. And what's Robert saying down the side? Because he really likes GUFON, don't you? Does he know what the F he's talking about? Exactly, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's been watching. Maybe he's been watching Third Phase of the Moon documentaries. I don't know.
That Akhenaten's brain may hold a larger capacity of intelligence. Could this bloodline be passed on?
See, if you look at that statue, if it's not artist thing, you see here it looks like a genetic freak where they've got too much inbreeding going on. He's got skinny arms. The skull almost looks like someone that's really tall, actually. Someone that's actually, you know, growing faster. So his skull's stretched out more. Doesn't look like an alien to me. It just looks like some sort of weird growing spurt. I don't know what you'd call it. DNA growth factor that's happening where the skull gets thicker and longer.
To the pharaohs, creating this higher being of intelligence, a hybrid, and the possibility of them using their high intelligence, creating these massive megastructures found in Egypt.
Well, everyone's got theories that Egyptians inherited it, and the original people that built that got killed off in wars or some sort of plague. So, yeah. Who knows who built the pyramids, but everybody's guessing. But they do know, if you've watched Ancient Aliens Debunked, they do go through everything from how what tools they found in the quarries and how they cut the rocks to how they moved it with reed boats. They would build a canal that would go up to the building sites so they could transport the really heavy blocks, and then they'll just use these special cranes, and they could add cranes on the side, not cranes like we've got it built, but cranes that sort of stack up and double the strength each time. So you can put 4 on each side, and it can lift up 8 times the weight and that sort of stuff. Hey, Area 51, he's finally joined us. You're in America, aren't you? So you're probably up really early. Looks like it hasn't bounced up your... What is it? Good morning sub? Yep. Just some cash. Thanks very much. It hasn't popped up here though, which is kind of strange. What's going on there? Oh, here we go. Well, that took a long time. So we finally got the dancing name. Yeah, dancing name pops up. We don't see it on... Well, I don't see it, but you might see it on your side.
I saw it.
Oh, you saw the dancing name? I don't see it on my screen. It's sort of added post what I see. But yeah. So yeah, we're about just to wrap up. Oh, now I see it. So you're... Google's at least a minute behind us at the moment. So yeah, what else are they saying?
There was a study done in 2008. Professor Steve Fleischman, he wanted to see if the DNA had a strange anomaly to it, and they presumed they had the DNA of Akhenaten. So when they proceeded with the study, they found out that there was some kind of possible manipulation done to the DNA. When you're talking...
Again, I'm talking about mutations and inbreeding here, and they're talking about manipulation, so...
2,400 years ago, how could they have even done genetic modification? It's impossible unless there was something that had intervention, like an alien race.
The Persians.
Not inbreeding and all that business where you get mutations.
They got hit over the head. I mean,
got to be aliens. It can't be Occam's razor, the simplest answer.
Their skull just cracked wide open. If you hit one of the Egyptian soldiers in the head, you would just piss him off.
Yeah, like
you may stumble, make him stumble and get dazed, but that'll just make him madder. And that's unique. To see that the skulls can be easily crushed compared, from Persians to Egyptians. It's a very unique individual. He's a very unique person. There's a lot of things about him that don't make sense, that could be alien-ish.
Not just that he's from Africa with a thicker skull, right? Just utter nonsense that guy talks, doesn't he?
And it makes you wonder, did he come down to this planet? Was he put here? Did he want to be put here and rule? I'd like to know who his parents were. I wonder if Blake and Brent have that information. I don't know. But
you can't help to laugh at GUFON, though, can you?
The strange appearance of Akhenaten definitely doesn't look like any
postcode.
He doesn't know, but how often does he say, I don't know, I don't know? He talks about all these theories, and then at the end he always says, I don't know. So he's talking utter BS, right? He's trying to suck people in, all those people that believe in ancient aliens, he's trying to suck them in to sub to his channel, and Third Phase are doing the same.
The other pharaohs that preceded him. Why did he look like this? Did the artwork of the time misrepresent the pharaoh's outcome?
Thanks, Robert.
Or did Akhenaten have his own unique appearance due to the unique DNA that he had in his blood? Where did this bloodline come from?
This
Africa.
Is ancient alien theories, and the best we can do is go by what we're told. And what we're told is that he had a thicker skull, twice as strong, twice as long, twice as smart, probably. He was very unique, depicted himself.
I don't know, he kind of looks like one of those basketballers in America to me, doesn't he? He's got that type of skull to him, and the tall stature.
Very tall African.
Yeah, and I think you could rack a bottle over the head of some of those guys and they'll just shake it off too.
In his natural form, unlike any pharaoh of the time. It's an amazing story, and I hope it does mean that we are part alien. Because I tell you what, I don't think humans are indigenous to this planet. We get suntan too.
So I wonder what part alien GUFON is. I think he's part baboon.
Easily, we need to wear clothing. Where did our fur go if we came from chimps or apes? Could have been Akhenaten. Could have been his DNA.
Do suffer more of this, people. Let's see, what else we got? Anything else?
Forrester coming to you from Paracas in Peru.
Okay, this is long skulls. You know, there's been a lot of debate whether it's been bandaged at birth. Yeah.
North, Central, and South America.
So they did the DNA test, right? And they said they knew the mother was human, but the father DNA wasn't human, whatever that means. But if you compare human DNA with a banana's got 50% of our DNA, right? And a chimp's got 98%. And we don't look like chimps too much, but we have similarities, like, you know, like the facial expressions and stuff. But yeah, a chimp to me looks more African with the flat nose and all that sort of business, you know. So you can see how people could evolve from a type of primate. They reckon that we didn't evolve from chimpanzees, but there was another tree that's missing off the family of trees. But we were a type of ape that's sort of separate to the chimpanzee line, which we've yet to discover. Yeah.
But they're still finding links as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be alien, though. But I think maybe aliens are interested in our DNA for some reason. Maybe because it's unique. Maybe they want to cross it with their own to get the qualities that we've got that they haven't got. So they want to use their higher intelligence and our stronger body frames. Because if you've got an insect body, right, maybe it's got some limitations. You know, if you scale up an insect, apparently they crush under their own body weight because they've got the external shell. So I'm not too sure how big you could scale up an insect before it crushes in on itself and it can't move around. But yeah, that's like the ultimate small to big. All turns out to be structure of tickle in my throat. The fabric connections of all the molecules that actually make up the exoskeleton would be getting too thick as you scale it up, and of course it'd be too much weight for the internal muscles to move it, right? So that's why I always wondered about the praying mantis alien. I think it'd be too big. It wouldn't be able to move. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe they're trying to use our DNA to make these what do you call it? Grey humanoids, or mixing various human DNA to form these Nordics with some alien DNA mixed in. Who knows what they're trying to do. Some reckon they just want to use our DNA to make slaves for other planets, which could possibly be another sci-fi fantasy thing. You never know. It's a good story for a sci-fi, regardless.
Across the Bering Land Bridge, something like, or their ancestors did, some skull. Sorry, I'm still getting used to whether it's a piece of pottery or human DNA.
See, you got to wonder why this is so small, because they're trying to get around copyright claim here. But anyway, I think we've got enough of that one. Didn't the starchild owner die recently? Last year, wasn't it? So I don't know who's in possession of it now. Can't remember what his name was. It wasn't Forrester, it was something else. But yeah, I think
Robert would be the one to ask for that.
Yeah, I wasn't really into the long skulls, right? Starchild. Let's see, has it been debunked yet, or have I found more evidence that backs it up? Starchild. If I can type it, debunk. Let's see what comes up for this year anyway. There's the skull. Is the skull a deformed human? Well, it could well be, couldn't it? Against inbreeding, all that sort of business. Trying to debunk the Starchild, so... A bone to pick with the Starchild skull, that's 2015. So, what if we search it to the latest ones? And put it this year. Past year, okay. So this is this year. Fact check claims of celebrities ending. No, that's not do your Starchild, is it? Torturing children. Trafficking children, but what's that got to do with Starchild? So obviously I didn't find anything for this year. Okay. Well, that's what we got, and there's nothing there. Nothing on the UFO Starchild. Kind of strange. So yeah, nothing this past year about it. So what's the latest? 2015. Was that when he was still alive? Was it? So what's the Wikipedia say? Let's have a look. Who was the guy that owned it? Oh, that's his name. Lloyd Pye. He died, didn't he? Lloyd Pye was an American author and paranormal researcher, best known for his promotion of the Starchild skull. I think he died, didn't he? Maybe I'm wrong. Is that his name? Got no picture of him. Oh, here we go. December 2013. So he died quite a while ago. Paranormal researcher, that's him. Starchild. Yep. There you go. So he did die. But yeah, if you look at this doesn't look very alien. It looks like a kid we had at school had a really big skull. Because it had a lot of fluid in the brain or something, and it made the skull grow bigger. And the eyes were actually close together like that. Well, just like her. It was a female. She had really bad eyesight. She had these really thick glasses on too. So yeah, I don't think it's alien. I just think it's whatever that big skull DNA problem that you get. So there's not much there, is there, on that? Further DNA testing in 2003. I thought they did some more recently than that. Extracting DNA from samples. Child belongs to haplogroup C since mitochondrial DNA is inherited exclusively from the mother. It's possible a trace of offspring material lineage. The DNA test therefore confirmed that this child's mother was a haplogroup C human, which is what I said, wasn't it? However, the adult female found with the child belonged to haplogroup A. Both haplogroup types are characteristic of Native American haplogroups, whatever that is. But different haplogroup for each skull indicates that adult female was not the child's mother. So it's not aliens. Different Indians. Native Indian. What's that keep popping up here? Oh, right, it's got all the location of all the Indian tribes there, is it? Quite a few of them.
It could have been some Something with the disease.
There we go.
Form the face.
There you go, big skull thing. We had a girl in class just like this, but she was in her, she was like 14, 15, and she had eyes close together too, and little ears, and a really big head. She looked really strange. Yeah, so that's a little baby, similar to what they're looking at, I guess. Mystery solved. No aliens.
Good not.
So I'm not too sure what that word is there. I haven't got it highlighted, have they? Condition to which a accumulation of CSF occurs within the brain, which I talked about fluid. This typically causes increased pressure inside the skull. Older people may have headaches, double vision. Yep, we had a girl in our class that had it. Where's the other word that we're looking for? This one about the mother. Where's it gone? This group here. Let's have a look. See what that's about. What's that meant to be here? What's that a picture of? South America? Oh, that's the land bridge they're talking about. What's that? America, South America connecting to Africa, is it? Or is that Alaska? Arctic region, maybe, and Africa. There's Africa there, isn't it? Africa, India, Australia, I think, is down the bottom here. That looks like Australia, a little island. So they reckon that's how it looked at one stage. Funny, innit? I wonder if it's still going to end up looking crazy like that at some stage. America will be part of Russia or something. So there you go.
We won't be here by then.
Oh, we won't be around to see it, no.
Oh.
Unless they can pop our brains into android bodies. So
like that.
Northeast Asia included Siberia, so that's where they come from. So they reckon it's because of this land bridge idea. Very interesting though, isn't it? How humans got around.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't rule it out that we didn't have airships. So here's another map here. What's that one got? There's Africa. There's America. So this is looking at a different angle, different direction. They had it rotated around on the other one that way, didn't they? We got it right. There's Australia at the bottom, India, Africa, Russia or Arctic, and America attached. It's amazing what they can work out, all these scientists. So what's all that about there? Talking about different DNA, is it? From different regions? I don't know, it's beyond my sort of information. C4A1C. Iceland, Peru. Different categories here, locations. So how's that work? I don't know. Study, mummy, lineage belongs to subclade C1B1, which contains 10 distinct mutations. Maybe I was talking about mutations. So where's this one here? C1B1. BI, I mean. C1... C4? Where's C1? C1 here. Japanese, is it? Where's B1 though? Yeah, I'm not an expert. Here we go, C4, but there's no C1s. C4A1, C5B1. I don't understand at all. This is where we need a DNA specialist to explain it to us. So obviously these guys on Third Phase need to learn all that sort of stuff before they start claiming we're aliens. Anyway, guys, better wrap it up now. My brain's going. But I think we covered quite a lot and learnt a few things new there with the satellites, hopefully. And thanks for the donations.
I've enjoyed myself.
Oh, that's good. And first time you've been a live video analysis. But we need to improve that volume control there of yours.
I'll get another headset.
Yeah, I think if you move your certain distance away from your laptop there, you're sort of breaking up a wee bit. So definitely you need a headset. And then it'll be fine because your mic's always a certain distance away from your face, you see, and that always makes it better. So I wonder if we get abused by Darren, because as far as I'm concerned, I've been fairly courtesy to him, even if I did mock his voice a little, but I don't see any harm in that.
I didn't mock his voice, but he still had a go at me.
Did he? What did you say to him?
I just laughed at him. It just goes over my head when they say things. I don't care.
Yeah.
I say things. I make my own mind up, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I apologised. I said, I was just being naughty because you're on Third Phase of the Moon, and I was just mocking them. Yeah. So I mocked him because he was on it as well.
I was mocking them as well at the same time, being on their station.
Yeah.
But I said you should send your videos to somebody who's going to do it properly.
Yeah, we're trying to find the truth here. So whether his was 90% satellite, we can't be 100% sure because we couldn't use the plane tracking software because it only goes up to backwards a year, and you have to pay the next license up, which is like $600 a year or something ridiculous, just to get 3 years going back. And I'm not going to do that just for one case, just to have a look, see what planes are in the area. But like I said, it could easily have been one of these glowing lead balloons that may have fooled him, because there are out there, But to me, it seemed to match up perfectly with that direction of that satellite right above his location there. Give or take some errors in the orbit, as we found out. The orbit on the application software may be slightly out.
Well, nothing's ever going to be 100%, is it?
No, unless we had more camera angles.
Close to
it. Yeah. But the problem with infrared is it creates more of a light exposure and makes things look bigger than they really are. So that was the whole problem there. We need to see it, how he saw it with his eyes in low light versus what the camera was amplifying it. Or did he see it with his eyes? I think he said he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he said he saw it with his eyes as well.
I think he said he saw it with the eyes, and then he said the dog reacted to it. So, but yeah. But I asked, my throat's going. I asked, move on, let me just drink. Needs lubricating, that's it. You always have to have water when you do presentations. Yeah. I asked MUFON and they said the case was closed as an IFO. And I asked them, do you know what it was closed as exactly? And they said it wasn't written in the reports. So I won't tell you who told me that. But yeah, I think the person forgot to add it into the report what he or she discovered. So, but they put it down as an IFO, which is identified. So whether it was the satellite, I don't know. But
we can't go no further with it anyway, so it's done and dusted.
No, you can't go any further with it, guys. So that's it. And anything on the side chat here? Bam. 8 a.m. Looks like 8 a.m. Looks like bam. 8 a.m. there. Okay, yeah. That would be about right. Susan probably normally would join us around about now. What is the
Susan
time?
Was here before,
Time in, let's see. Canada.
Was there, but she's gone.
Canada Central Time 7:27 a.m. So that's what should be time in Texas. Eastern is 9:27, and Pacific is still 6 a.m. So they're like 3 hours behind, aren't they? Yeah, 9 and 6. 3 hours difference across America. It just shows how big it is with the sun. And as we saw in that diagram, as the sun moved orbit, it takes 3 hours for it to go from one side of America to the other. Just amazing, really, when you start to think of the bigger picture.
Amazing how big the country is.
Yeah. You'd have to spend years there just traveling around just to explore America, I reckon. It'd be like non-stop.
More than a lifetime, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
More than a lifetime.
Yeah. But it'd be a good place to go and see some key parts there, especially the hotspots. I'd like to go to Sedona, is it? And the Arizona, what do you call it? The Grand Canyon?
The Grand Canyons, I'd love to see that as well.
Yeah. What other ones? The Great Lakes and the Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls. What's the other places? I don't know. Area 51. I won't let you get access.
You won't get anywhere near there.
But that would be good, and probably Skinwalker Ranch too. What I'd like to do is win lotto, so I got millions of dollars, and I can then set up a UFO bus with all the high-tech cameras like we saw in that diagram where that guy had like 10 cameras on top. And just go to all the hotspots and just get people around the world that's been following the channel. I'd just pay their way to come over and get some security guards and drivers, and we'd just have a lot of fun driving around trying to capture UFOs or paranormal and put it up on YouTube as a TV series. Imagine that. That would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, so Tyler could have done something like that with the income he was making. He could have easier stepped it up into his own online TV series, going to all the hotspots and just having lots of fun. But he was not a real UFO person. He was just a bullshitter, just like most of them. Anyway, I better stop yapping and let you guys go. So, yeah, I'm just going to bring up the end credits. Yeah, you can drop off now if you want to. So that was Discord. Discord actually kind of worked quite good, did it? You didn't have to look at YouTube at all. You just looked at the stream for me. Oh, there you go.
It's watched you.
Whereabouts was it going? I seem to have lost it. Was it here? Oh, here it is. So that's Charles connected to us here through Discord video. How about that? And I've been streaming it to him via that instead of Jitsi. And there's the other thing, which keeps coming up, interactive thing. So yeah, I'll just wind down now anyway. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and see you again Saturday, which is only a couple of days away for me. So what are you seeing at the moment? You seeing the ending credits now? I think Charles is gone. Yep, he's gone. Cool, I can close that down now. What's that saying? Gotta be careful not to press the wrong button. Yeah, good night, Area 51. You like the idea of the UFO bus, yeah, but obviously you need lots of money and lots of people behind you, right? Good night. Thanks for your donations too, guys. We'll get there eventually one day. You never know. Good night.